Welcome back to another episode of the ultra popular, super fast growing podcast.
Sweeping the nation.
Sweeping the nation from east to west, from north to south, the Football Frauds Podcast.
We're on the move to 1 million subscribers. We're almost there. So hit that subscribe button.
Yeah.
You want to be a part of this.
My wife didn't take it very well when I told her I was quitting my job, but thanks to you guys, your support, this thing is moving off the ground. It's getting huge, and I don't think we're going to stop. We're taking down ESPN at this point.
Yeah, I already quit my job months ago.
Yeah.
I told you guys that I was still working. I haven't been.
I'm fully leveraged.
I fully believe in this job.
You guys saw the PFF deal? We declined that same exact deal.
Oh, yeah. Well, we were trying to buy PFF.
Yeah.
Fortunately, Teamworks kind of beat us out
But
slightly.
what is it? The NDAs. We can't really get into that.
Oh, yeah.
But
No. A lot of contracts.
To inform you, my name is Miles,
my name is Connor.
And I'm afraid.
and we're doing a 2-round 2026 mock draft this afternoon and evening. We're going to have a bunch of fun. We're going to go through all 32 teams. All 32 teams have a first or second round pick. We're going to get right into that. But first, the young man by the name of Connor has a special limited edition Football is Blind little quick segment for us to go through. Give you a little get juices flowing, get your booty pumping, get everything going here.
Yeah. You know what? You love it. Football is blind.
Football is blind. That leads us into the Football is Blind segment here. Let me talk to you a little prospect here, a defensive prospect. Okay. He stands at 6 feet tall, 230 pounds. He's a linebacker prospect, outside linebacker prospect.
I know it is.
You know who it is? Yeah.
That was easy.
He ran a 4.38 40.
Whoa.
I don't know.
230?
230.
Whoa.
153. 10-yard split.
That's fast.
10 feet broad jump. 20 rep bench press.
That's a lot.
In college, he was the captain of an undefeated football team. This guy led his team to an undefeated season as a captain. Okay?
Okay.
Where does this guy go? What are you guys buying or selling third round?
I don't think I know anything about him.
What questions do you have about him?
I know he's a good linear athlete and
Yep.
that his team was good.
Yep. He had
Was he an All-American?
all
All-Conference?
conference, yes.
Okay.
But he had 13 and a half tackles for loss, a team high 7 sacks, 1 interception, 3 pass breakups, and 2 forced
I
fumbles.
am going to draft him with the 79th overall pick.
I'll go 84.
Okay.
Well, I get him then.
Damn it.
He's probably going to suck.
What year?
2018 draft class.
Devin White? No, he was like 2019.
Would you guys like to know the non-blind stuff?
Yeah.
Sure.
He has one hand.
Oh.
Oh, is this the brother?
It's
Is this Shaq
This is
Griffin?
Shaquem Griffin.
Yeah. Bro, he was a
He
baller.
was a baller.
He ran a 4.3 with one arm.
Oh, he was a that's why he
Doesn't
got
affect your
drafted.
speed.
Does that make you faster?
The 20 rep bench press with one hand?
Yeah, I remember
is
they had
crazy.
they had a
Wait.
contraption for him to grab it.
Oh, I thought you made. That's like, holy fuck.
fuck off me.
Oh man. Yeah.
That's a great pull.
Yeah.
Yeah, look up Shaq Griffin. Look up his combine bench. Yeah, he was a monster. I honestly thought he was gonna work.
He was drafted in the 5th round by Seattle. It was crazy.
I was in on him at the time.
And everyone was like, this guy, like his measurables are crazy. He has the tape. And then every NFL team was like, yeah, can't really get over that one thing.
It's kind of a deal breaker.
So it's like cut off right at the wrist, right?
Yeah, it's right at the wrist. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But I was chuckling before we started because I was looking at the NFL.com's like pros and cons list. The pros were like elite athlete,
Yeah.
like leader, like there was like 7 other things. In the cons were
Paraplegic.
only has one hand.
only has
that
one.
was it.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough one. We're gonna have to think about that.
Oh man.
Does having one hand make you faster?
I don't know. I don't think so. Hey, but you know what? Being light for a linebacker, it probably adds like 2-3 pounds. I don't know.
can't
how
believe
much.
he ran a 4.3 with one arm.
2 pounds?
I feel like having one arm would make you slower.
One arm.
Okay, you're right.
He has an arm.
He has an arm. He doesn't have a
Just
hand.
Yeah, you're
And-
not having two arms.
Just a torpedo bullet bill.
It's like when like dogs or cats don't have front paws or like front I don't know legs, and you
Yeah.
see them stand up and they look so awkward. I just picture someone running with no arms.
Well, on that note, the next time you see us, we will be in.
Strap in, buckle up for 2 rounds of Football Frauds mock draft deliciousness.
And we're in. Right now, we are inside the PFF mock draft simulator website. How do we get in here? We don't know. But we're trapped in here now. Matt Miles and I, we measured something on each of us and to determine where we're drafting.
Yeah.
And Matt's going first, I'm going second, and Miles is going third.
And Shaq Griffin's going 0.
He's going before everyone.
he's leading off. All right, I'm gonna hit the Las Vegas Fernando Mendozas. Pretty obvious what's going on here, but I think in terms of new discussion points, let's bring up the Kirk Cousins factor. As of today, Kirk Cousins on a wacky deal that pretty much sums up to Kirk Cousins gets $20 million, and the Raiders are going to pay $11 million of it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to be the guy. He's going to be the Sam Darnold for J.J. McCarthy, the Jacoby Brissett for Drake May.
Nice pull.
The Mr. Miyagi to whoever the Karate Kid, to Jaden Smith.
Okay, let's have a discussion.
Jaden Smith.
Let's do over/under 6.5 starts for Kirk Cousins this year. You guys taking over or under?
Under.
Under? Oh,
Yeah. I see this move as a pure if Kubiak gets the ball rolling, finds out that Mendoza, he doesn't think he's 100% ready for week 1. That's why he's there. Because they don't want to force him into something he's not ready for. But that being said, Kirk Cousins could get 0 starts this year.
I would set the over/under at 0.5, and I would take the under.
No, that's bullshit. I would make so much money off you. You'd be unhoused.
I'll bet on it right now.
After you're done with me. Point. You're going to take. I get 1 start for Kirk Cousins.
I think Mendoza will start week 1,
Okay,
guaranteed.
without injury. We're just talking week 1. Let's just do a week
Yeah.
1 bet, not injury. Otherwise, I could have a.
I was
Even
going to
odds?
say,
Yeah.
I mean, that's not fair.
Oh, you want some line?
And juice. If the
well,
line's
we
6.5,
can't
I'm
fig-
taking the adjusted under. You want about 6.5?
No, I thought we were going to do even odds for 1 or 0. But you want to say like if it happens, then you
make
get
it a
bunch of
parlay.
juice.
Let's get half a start. Kirk Cousins gets traded. Yes or no?
What would the 50-50 line be to you? Would it be 3.5, 4.5? Like where it's like even odds?
I would guess 4.5.
$10?
Yeah. Let me think. I think Kirk Cousins is going to play more than 4.5 games. No, I haven't really thought. I'm just.
Hey, he's gonna drop it low.
Whatever number you say.
4.5, you son of a bitch.
All right.
But the Raiders are taking Mendoza 1 overall.
Yep. I like the Kirk Cousins thing. I think that it's just then Mendoza can show up and he's not the guy on they're gonna talk to Kirk Cousins. It's gonna be like he's gonna be a sidekick and like learn how the NFL works versus 100 people in the organization just look at him like, please save us, please save us, please make us better.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it really takes the pressure off.
Yeah, so we had a discussion today. I mean, Mendoza is a pretty obvious number 1 overall. But we had a discussion today about whether this was going to be solely predictive or personal. And I think we kind of landed on how we're really feeling, like make it kind of make sense with what the team might do.
Yeah.
But if you have a real feeling on a guy, go for that. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
When we do this, because some of these players, like maybe we personally wouldn't want to take them that high, but we think that the team is going to. So yeah, that's kind of how it's going to roll. But I'm here with 2 since we measured something, and I was second. So I'm up here with the Jets at pick 2, and I'm liking a guy by the name of Arvell Reese. There's a lot of different names going around at this pick. I feel like everything after pick 1 is kind of pick your poison. We've talked on past podcasts about how picks 2 through 5 are kind of, it's like they're all at that pick 5 level. And so whoever you're taking at 1, you can be pissed off, but it's like, who
Yeah.
else are you going to take?
Totally.
Who else are you going to take? And so I'm taking Arvell Reese, outside linebacker edge out of Ohio State.
Love it. If you want to hear more about our opinions on the edges, go listen to the defensive prospect episode. We'll start it off with that.
Arvell Reese to the Jets, the highest upside edge prospect in this class. At 3, we have the Arizona Cardinals. With a quarterback need, Ty Simpson does not intrigue me at 3 overall. The next best player on my board, I'll personally be going personal big board on what I would do if I was the team
Yeah.
GM. I mean, I'll probably incorporate some of like predictive because I'm not the smartest.
Don't sell yourself short.
You're the smartest.
Knew it.
Except for the Kirk Cousins thing.
All I needed was that reassurance. Next highest player on my board in terms of including positional value, my favorite phrase, David Bailey, edge out of Texas Tech. Elite edge rusher in the pass game, excellent first step, developed pass repertoire that he can use in a variety of ways, was good at Stanford his sophomore year, great at Texas Tech this past year, led the country in tackles for loss and sacks. David Bailey is the most obvious, like, I'm not going to say can't miss, but the floor for him is being a league average edge rusher at the 5th percentile outcome, 95th percentile outcome. He can be a really elite guy who comes off the edge, generates pressure, and hopefully a league average run defender.
Miles, what do you think about passing up on an offensive lineman? You know, the Cardinals don't have any like young quarterback now, but a lot of guys like to go Maui Noah, thinking like you're going to shore up the offensive line. How do you feel about passing that up?
Yeah, I think that logic makes sense. I'm just at the point at this. If I'm the Cardinals GM, I'm not going to overthink it, especially without a first-year quarterback already in place, and you already have Paris Johnson Jr., a good left tackle on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to. If I was at 7 overall and Maui Noah was there, I wouldn't hesitate. But at 3 overall, when you just started the rebuild process, don't overthink it. Take the best player available at a very important position and let it fall out from there. If you start reaching for guys like that habitually, I feel like that can be problematic as a GM because you're constantly losing value trying to fill positions that you think are more of a need.
Yeah. I pretty much agree with you. I would have made the same pick there for the Cardinals, and I'm going to use that same logic going over to the Titans. This is where we're seeing a lot of Jeremiah Love. It makes sense. You want to see Cam Ward succeed. You want to see the offense take another gear after I always forget this head coach's Callahan. Brian Callahan messed up last year, but I'm not going to give Brian Dable another toy. I'm just going to go to what I think is best player because when you're this high in the draft, you cannot force a need. You just want to take the guys that are elite, have most chance to disrupt the entire NFL. I'm going Ruben Bain. We talked about him on our defensive prospect show. We like him at a pretty similar level to these other guys, so we're going edge right away to start off. Ruben Bain.
I love it. It's weird that Ruben Bain being taken to the Titans at 4 is kind of not consensus right now.
Far from it.
Well, I think typically Saleh wants faster edges, guys that can win around the edge. But I think that we haven't seen Saleh, we haven't seen Saleh enough to like, if there's an elite guy there, do we really know he's going to pass up on him?
Yeah. So that brings me to the Giants, the New York Football Giants at 5. There's a lot of noise around Jeremiah Love's ceiling for this draft, starting at 5 with the Giants. And if you're a Giants fan and you love that, I would like to say that I hate you because you guys were so on board with Cam Scadaboo being the chosen white boy. The chosen white boy.
True.
Even after he was injured, they were like, once he comes back, we're golden. And now they have the shot at Jeremiah Love, and they're like, if no one talks about Cam Scadaboo next year on the Giants and they draft Jeremiah Love, I'm going to be pissed.
To me, the Giants have Cam Scadaboo, they have Tyrone Tracy, and they still have Devin Singletary. Between the three of those guys, you're going to get enough good running back touches that I don't think it's a need right now.
Yep. And that puts me – do you have something to say about that, Nolan?
I think if you told Giants fans in February, like, you're going to take Jeremiah Love at 5th overall, they'd be like, fuck no.
Oh, my God.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, Saquon, we're not going to do another in the top 5. Give it a few months. You just get inundated in the draft cycle. You just hear so much information. Like, after after 2 months, your brain just gets so like fucking thrown through the washer of just other people saying what they think. You start being like, Jeremiah Love is the right pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just, I
And
mean,
you can buy the jersey and like, fuck yeah, we have an elite
Yeah.
running back.
it'll be cool, but like,
Even though they already bought the Scatterboo jerseys.
True.
in my mind, Jeremiah Love is about as good as it gets for a running back prospect, third best prospect of the last decade. It doesn't matter how good he is. Running back is just way too plentiful in terms of talent supply.
That brings me to what I think makes the most sense for this team. And I think we might have had Cardinal Tate going a past one to the Giants there, but I don't think Cardinal Tate is worth the top 5 pick in this draft. But someone who I think is a linebacker, crazy enough, when we talk about positional value,
Ooh.
a linebacker named Sonny Styles out of Ohio State.
Daddy likey.
Sonny Styles, they have a need at linebacker, and it's like I'm always like, okay, they have the defensive front, they have serviceable pieces in the back of their defense, so you should stir up your offense. But it's like if you have a generational talent like Sonny Styles, I don't see you being able to pass up on it, especially since they don't have a glaring offensive line need.
Yep.
So
In a big linebacker need. They have no good linebackers.
yeah.
And all of a sudden, that front, if you get a competent D coordinator in there, you got Carter on the outside, Burns, Thibodeau's still there, Dexter Lawrence, and then Sonny Styles behind him. Like, it feels like the floor for that unit is like league average. If you have a competent defensive coordinator,
Yeah.
like there's just no way you can't make that talent work.
I agree.
6 overall. The Cleveland Browns made a bunch of moves for guards and tackles and trades this past year, acquiring the tackle from the Texans, who I'm blanking on. Paid him $20 million a year because tackles who
Titus Howard.
You're the GOAT.
Tackles who are just like somewhat competent get paid in this version of the NFL because that talent is so hard to find. It's so hard to find guys that are 6'5", 320 who can still move their feet. Like those people are rare. I'm looking at the wide receiver prospects here. I'm not going to go Love. They have Judkins there. They have Dylan Sampson. They drafted both last year. Looking at the wide receivers here, now that we've got a better feel for the class, it seems pretty obvious that the tackle class is not great. Like Fano or Maui Noah are not surefire top 10 picks every year. But given the way that tackles and guards are paid every year, and given the Browns' need for both guard and tackle or center over the next few years, like they just need a competent anything at offensive line. I'm going to pass on wide receiver. I think at 24 they can get somebody who can be not a massive step down from Lemon, Tate, Tyson. I'm going to take Francis Maui Noah. Fano is a little bit high. I have Fano at 10 on my board, Maui Noah at 11. Maui Noah presents a little bit higher ceiling for me, and I feel like his guard possibility is a little bit higher than Fano's. Fano has short arms, but he's very quick with Maui Noah. Presents a very real Florida team that just needs competent offensive line play. He can play tackle for you. He can play guard, and he'll just be very solid. for the
Another
next 5
point is
years.
a lot of the bodies they have right now are more towards a man gap style run game. Maui Noah leads to that, whereas Fano's quicker, not quite as strong. So
Great point.
you guys are so good at this. Styles and Maui Noah, just the perfect picks right there. I mean,
These are exactly who I'd take. in each spot.
we should start a podcast. Is all I'm saying. Man, this is tough. The Washington Commanders here. This is typically Jeremiah Love's floor, and as you go down the draft, the amount you have to pay these prospects does go down. So that I do think about that as taking your running back. If you take him at 2, you're paying him like $12 million a year or 15. If you take him at 7, it might be like 8. It starts to go down. And he is an elite prospect, and the Commanders have Rashad White, they have Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, but not any guy that's going to be around there a long time. But then I also look at their wide receiver room. I do like Carnell Tate as just a guy you can really trust. And I look at Caleb Downs as someone that could really round out their safety room. They have a lot of needs, safety, receiver, and running back being all of them. I want to lean on the elite prospects, and I want to lean on the elite position or the premium position. Unfortunately, you can't do that here. I think I am going to go Jeremiah Love.
Ooh, yeah.
I think he is the most game changer player, and being that elite, you're not paying him quite as much as you would if the Titans picked him at 4, and you want to get this offense turned around because it kind of sputtered a little bit last year. So Jeremiah Love to the Commanders.
Commanders have 2 really good tackles, And you
Yep.
feel like you probably don't want to take a guard here this high. And they also have San Cosme, who's good at guard for them. They have Tunsil on the outside, as well as the cat they took from Oregon last year. Love, if he was taken at 7 overall, his deal would be 5 years for $31 million.
Okay.
Or, excuse me, 4 years for $31 million.
So that's 7.3 or something.
For the first 4 years, $6 million, and then the fifth year option's a little bit.
Oh, gotcha.
So $6 million isn't. Excuse me, his 2026 cap hit is $6 million. That's somewhat reasonable.
Yeah.
I would go Love here too, given that they have a solid offensive line. It feels like none of these defensive guys are good enough to take after the edges, and the thought of Love and Daniels is just so seductive. It gives very Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson vibes of just like
Yep.
running read option and just sitting there as a linebacker being like, holy fuck, like
Yeah.
just unbelievable speed, like top level speed at both positions.
And they're, as far as it goes, they're going to be trying to run the Ben Johnson scheme there.
Yeah.
So if this can be their Jahmyr Gibbs, then, or not DeAndre Swift, but
Yeah.
Jahmyr Gibbs, then that could be really huge for this offense.
Well, if you would have said a year and a half ago that the Commanders would have the opportunity to get the most generational prospect, like running back prospect, since Bijan and since Saquon before that, like there's two guys
Yep.
that have graded higher in the most recent era of like prospect grading.
in 7 years. Yep.
You'd go, that's not fair. That's not fair
True.
at all.
right.
And just how the cards fell, you had Jaden Daniels get injured. The rest of the team just kind of
And
went
their
to kind
team
of
is
tank
bad.
mode.
They have a bad roster.
Yeah, but you add Jeremiah Love to that, and it skyrockets it. Jeremiah Love next to Jaden Daniels would be insane.
Nope.
Yeah, and Love's game-breaking speed is just it. With running backs, you can only rise so high if you're awesome at everything. Game-breaking speed, as illustrated via Saquon with the Eagles 2 years ago,
True.
when you had a good offensive line, is just it's like a value multiplier that
Puts
like,
you
lifts
over the top.
Yeah,
Yeah. If this happened, I think I'd go even earlier in the draft selection process. Earlier than the first pick, probably the -2 overall pick, just because some things would be growing, some things would be shrinking, you know?
Oh yeah,
Wait, what did you just say?
Nothing. Who has the Saints number 8? Is that you, Connor?
that puts me with the Saints at 8. I am gonna go with a specific position right here, and it's gonna be wide receiver.
Ooh.
And I have my number 1 wide receiver. This guy has been dropping a little bit, but it has not changed at all. Nothing has changed on my views towards this prospect.
Stop saying things have changed.
Yeah.
It has
Let's make
not
it clear
changed.
here, guys, okay?
Nothing's changed.
When I'm doing the grading on these prospects, you look at Carnell Tate, his combine and his pro day numbers didn't change much about how he was viewed as a prospect, and people said, well, look at his tape. He can do everything on tape.
Yup.
Mekhi Lemon was the exact same thing.
Yup.
Jordan Tyson didn't go to the combine, didn't feel good enough to do a pro day, and so he didn't test. It doesn't change anything for me. I'm relying on his tape. If we're doing the same thing, we're going to rely on the tape for the other two. We're going to rely on the tape for Jordan Tyson, and he is the highest graded prospect for me out of these 3 wide receivers.
Route Demon.
I think pairing him up next to Chris Olave is going to do wonders for that offense.
Yeah.
I love this prospect.
You got to have amazing cover corners because both those guys are like 185 pounds, can route you out of your shoes. So, like, yeah, they're a little susceptible to press, but not everyone has good press corners. That's a lot to handle on defense.
It's if Tyson is healthy and he reaches his medium outcome, this is a home run. It just all depends on health.
Which is crazy to pair him up with Chris Olave.
They're literally like a very similar receivers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like route technicians that are smaller but can play outside.
The Kansas City Chiefs at 9. Sitting here with one of my favorite prospects in the draft, Mekhi Lemon, staring them down. They've chosen to go so small wide receiver heavy in the past that I just can't rationally take Lemon here, given that all their receivers are sub 6 foot, sub 180 that are real. Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice is 6 foot, but he's 185. He's kind of like more of a gadget guy. You get him on crossers going over the middle.
They did a Sky Moore too, and right, they had a couple other prospects that were just flyers, and they just kept trying to throw darts at these like speedy guys.
Sky Moore was a second rounder. They just wasted.
Andy Reid is chasing the ghost of Deshaun Jackson. Caleb Downs is staring at you here. I love Downs as a prospect, but if I'm the Chiefs, right? We got 29. We're obviously rebuilding.
Got 40.
We got 40. We traded away fucking
Trent McDuffie.
I'm not that sharp today. I want to start with making sure that Mahomes is good for a long time. The defense, hopefully Spags can raise the floor a little bit. Downs is staring at me here as a ceiling, as like a floor raiser, but in terms of positional value, wide receiver is unquestionably more valuable. The piece that the Chiefs are missing that I think they wouldn't pass on no matter who's available here is Carnell Tate. A true X, a good run blocker with very good effort, down the field ball winner, and Mahomes' first real downhill threat since Tyreek Hill. A guy who can block well, wins at all different levels of the field. Not a great separator in the way that Tyson is, not super shifty, but just presents like an option that Mahomes has never had in a true big X receiver. I think they couldn't pass on Tate here.
Yeah, just the clear wide receiver 2 out of Ohio State. Just a great
Yeah.
for us.
They said that about Igbuka.
Yeah, I was just saying.
But
Ibuka, Olave, Wilson. We've seen this. We've
It's
seen
true.
this film before. If I'm the Cincinnati Bengals here, I'm kissing Brett Veach's feet because we were not looking at Carnell Tate. We got 2 monster wideouts already, but we were looking at Caleb Downs. The defense for the Bengals last year was about as horrendous can get. They're playing a new DC who's never been a coordinator at the NFL level, and 2 rookie linebackers, and you mix that all together, and it was people not knowing where they need to be, people not knowing how to play. Shamar Stewart was a complete bust. Their D tackle out of Michigan from 2 years ago, Chris Jenkins, I think, totally failed. Like all their young defenders, besides maybe Dax Hill and DJ Turner, I think, are some of their corners played okay. It's like complete blow up. So not only is Caleb Downs an elite player, he is high character, he's a leader, and he's just really smart. He can help coordinate the defense from the field in the huddle with the guys around him. I think that if the Bengals are going to have a chance to become a competent defense again, having adults in the room that are smarter, that are like as smart as you can be, I think this is an amazing pick for the Bengals here.
Agreed. Perfect fit, like we talked about last episode. There really is something to be said for the Bengals not being able to develop jack shit on defense, and Downs is like the rare player who really needs no development. He's already there. He's already going to be, at worst, a league average safety.
Yeah, so that puts me with Miami at 11. And today I was going through Miami's roster, and it is atrocious. Like, it is, like, I don't think, like, you could even put running back as, like, yeah, you could use someone there.
No, I remember
Every single freaking person.
We counted they had like 7 good players, and then they trade away Jalen Waddle, and they trade away Minka. So that puts it at like out of the 22 or 24 roster spots you really have of starters, that's like 5 players you're like, yeah, that guy's good.
Can you really make an argument for any team being worse than them as a roster?
Can you name anyone on their defense right now?
Zach Allen.
But here's
To
the
the
thing.
Broncos?
Hey, come on. Hey, frauds here. We were lauding them for how they were doing this. Like, we liked what they did this offseason.
Oh, I still do it too.
Yeah.
Because the Browns were in the same spot, and what did? They traded for a tackle. They signed a guard. They pushed off Deshaun Watson's contract into 2028. Like, yeah, they're way more competent now, but for what?
I mean, yes. The only reason why I like it because they have like 80 top 100 picks. They have so many.
Yeah,
like
7.
It's crazy. I'm like, that's not going to really, like, they all have to pan out for that to
True.
work, but
Yeah, I like the idea of bottoming out completely. I think that there's honor in that, despite it can be terrible for the franchise.
Yeah.
with a new coach.
It just
and new
depends.
GM.
Do you get that Lions 2022 draft, the Jahmyr Gibbs, Jack Campbell, Brian Branch,
Sam
and Sam
Laporta.
Laporta?
Yeah.
Or do you get like one hit in the first round, one kind of semi hit in the third round, and then it just doesn't do anything?
yeah.
Chances are it's the latter.
But having the chance, like Jalen Waddle, would you rather, in 2 years from now, would you rather have your first round pick and third round pick from this draft, or a 29-year-old Jalen Waddle?
Who you then have to extend again.
Yeah, who you're paying max contracts.
Right.
It's knowing your window, you know?
Totally.
And it's like, is this guy going to have more value to us in 3 years or less?
Yeah. Wait, at the coaches meeting or the owners meeting. Did you guys see Matt LaFleur say like, "Oh, we got Green Bay South going on over there"?
No.
It's like because literally everything they're doing is so Packers coded.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
hilarious.
Yeah.
They're going to take 3 offensive linemen. They're going to take an edge rusher who's super traitsy.
Well, we don't know who they're. We have the GM right here. I'd love to know who they're
Oh,
going to
shit.
take.
And so I was going to bring up Miles's point right there.
Connor Hyphen.
Connor Hyphen.
Connor
right here.
Hyphen.
So I honestly think that they are going to take an offensive lineman here.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of offensive linemen that are at this range.
The real question is, what would the Packers do?
Yeah.
I think they're going to take the best available player.
What would Bart Starr do?
And part of me thinks Mansour Delane is the best available player. And I know he's the best available player, at least on my board.
Yeah.
Fair.
But it's the same thing. What's the window like of a corner in the league? And is it going to be that when you need him to be the star? Which is what's kind of holding me back on this Mansour Delane pick. I like the idea of getting a weapon on offense, a wide receiver. I think that their lifeline is a little longer than
Yep.
a corner, but I do think they're going to have to go with their offensive line. I think that if they're becoming Green Bay South, offensive line is what they have to do.
Yep.
And that puts me right now at Spencer Fano. I think that Spencer Fano out of Utah is a great prospect. He's a junior. As you can see on the screen, he's 21 years old, 6'6", 308. And he had a great season, a great leader.
He's insane on the move.
Insane on the move.
That's his number one trait.
and he's versatile.
Yep. 5 position versatility.
Mm-hmm. And that's the only reason why I wouldn't want to go with someone like Freeling here is because
Yeah.
Freeling isn't versatile. And if you're going to be Green Bay South, you're going to take a versatile offensive lineman.
And Spencer Fano, you're guaranteed to hit a double with him. He's not going to flunk out, whereas Freeling, there's still some projection there.
yeah.
Big time. The Dallas Cowboys on the clock at 10. This is just really straightforward. You take Mansour Delane. Jermon McCoy's in the back of my head here, but they already have 2 guys with injury issues at corner. They have Siobhan Ravel, who they took out of East Carolina last year, and then the guy they gave a big bag to, Deron Bland. Diggs is out of the building. He completely fell apart, which is a puzzling. I think his all-in risk, go for the pick or not thing, kind of end up biting him in the tail.
Yeah. They lost Al Harris.
Yeah.
He's the Bears D-backs coach now. We kind of led the league in picks last year.
If Mansour Delane is there for the Cowboys, they sprint this pick up to the podium. Very easy, very simple. Fills a very big need for them. A solid guy who's going to be a good corner at the NFL level.
Totally. And I think right now they have Siobhan Ravel that you'd think could be their starter.
Yeah.
But I don't think they love the Deron Bland contract. I think there's a world where when they can cut him, they cut Deron Bland. And you don't want to draft a guy that's going to block out one of your young players to ascend. I don't think this is going to block out Siobhan Ravel.
No. And honestly, Siobhan Ravel last year, if you were looking at this time last year, Siobhan Ravel,
First rounder.
Yeah. And he just fell because he didn't
To the third. Well,
Yeah.
I think what was it, ACL?
ACL and he didn't have any
And then he
measurables.
played completely terrible. So
Yeah.
I think the NFL, their analysis of him was right that he was not.
Yeah.
Whatever film he did so well in college, it wasn't going to be there right away.
Mhm.
Hopefully he can find his way back.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to the Rams here. Today or yesterday, I did a lot of analysis on all the teams, and I really wanted to know how good are their rosters, what are the actual team needs? Because there's a lot of places you can find, here's their team needs.
Yeah.
And I've seen tackle mocked to the Rams a lot. But between Alaric Jackson at left tackle, and I think Warren McClendon is a 5th rounder that's going into year 3.
Yeah.
And people talk about can you trust that guy? And to me, that's the beauty of the NFL, finding players and developing them to be something that they weren't. You don't draft over a guy that's going into year 3 that's already put on pretty good tape in Warren McClendon. Maybe he's not your tackle of the future because you're going to hit a cap wall, but to me, where do you have an opening? At receiver.
Mm-hmm.
And there's receivers at this point in the draft that make a lot of sense. You guys already took Jordan Tyson and Carnell Tate, but besides Devontae Adams, who's 33 or 34, it's just Puka right now. I think Mekhi Lemon would be an absolute home run for the Sean McVay scheme. Like, it's literally mini Puka, mini JSN. He's got that same play style where you see him catch a ball and look so smooth throughout his route and immediately transfer into a runner after the catch. I just think he just looks like a Ram whenever you watch him play. It's like that is what the Shanahan McVay schemers, that is what they
Absolutely.
They stay up at night just imagining what that could look like.
Yeah. And Devontae Adams led the league in drops last year.
Really?
Yeah. And it was
They gave him a lot of like ISO balls, I feel like,
Yeah.
but still.
Huh.
and
I guess he sucks.
I don't know if it's a confirmed report, but there was some NFL analyst out there that said that they were shopping Devontae.
No, confirmed.
They like mentioned it
Yeah.
at the owners' meetings.
They told Devontae, yeah, we're shopping you.
Yeah. And so that tells me that they're probably going to take one of these guys that's available.
And they have a lot of their white tight ends like Ferguson, Parkinson, Higbee, forget the last one, David something, I don't know. So they're going to do a lot of 12 personnel, which they did last year.
Mhm.
So they can run it with two receivers, but I think they'd love Mekhi Lemon here.
Yeah. And if I'm the Baltimore Ravens, I hate that happened because on their roster, you really want a wide receiver here, but none of the rest of them
Yeah.
are worth that.
Rashad Bateman fell off. DeAndre Hopkins is 42 years old.
And Zay Flowers, it's he's not good enough to be the guy.
He's a bad one or a great two.
Exactly. Very like schemey. If you can scheme up something for Zay Flowers, you're like, wow, this guy's amazing. But he can't just create it on its own. It has to.
Yeah.
Something has to happen for
And
it.
he'll try to juke guys out, but he's not going to break a lot of tackles.
Yeah. And so their next clear need is interior offensive line. And Oliva Vega Ioane is here. And Miles talked in some past episodes about how people think this guy's a blue chip prospect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He tested insane. He has great tape.
He might be the most projectable offensive lineman. He's just a guard.
Yep. And if all you're really looking for is like, we don't need someone to totally change everything for our team. We have those guys. We just need people who can do their job. This is the guy that can do that for you.
And the Ravens' offensive line fell off a lot last year in terms of win rate from the year prior. Guard is just such an amplifier for them with Henry and Jackson and their ability to run downhill, man gap scheme with Ioane, who's like a masher and just like run through guys. It fits perfectly.
Yeah. And between center and left guard, they have two spots where it's like, I really don't know who's going to start there. So you don't want back-to-back offensive linemen that with question marks. You see this mocked a lot because it's a perfect pick. I mean, it makes a lot of sense.
Yep. The last three teams have gotten the exact guy they would have wanted. I would think in my mind. Delane, Lemon, Ioane.
Yeah.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are on the clock at 15. They brought in a linebacker, Alex Anzalone, who's over 30 from the Lions this past year. They had a big need at linebacker. Their other biggest need is at edge, in my opinion. PFF lists tight end to be their biggest need. So Kenny Sadiq would make sense here. I already have a lot of trust in the Buccaneers' offensive weapons, and Sadiq feels a little bit reachy at 15 here for me personally. I like him. I think he could easily be a top 5 tight end right away. But there's a scenario that he ends up much more like previous guys who's gotten drafted in the first round. There's been a lot of tight end busts in the first round, especially for guys with limited production. Loveland and Warren from last year had great production, and they translated right away. Sadiq, given their offensive weapons, I'll pass on him here. That gives me the next highest player in my board, a guy who I think would pair great with Antoine Winfield, allow Winfield to drop in the box or perhaps allow them to alternate a little bit in terms of coverage. I would take Dylan Thieneman here. I don't feel great about it, given they don't have a real safety need. It's not a perfect fit, but Thieneman's the next best player on my board. They need help on defense. We'll pair him with Antoine Winfield, and they'll have a sick safety duo.
Well, I think that's the biggest misconception is that corners and safeties are two different, like very different positions. And can certain types of corners play safety? No. But can you be a hybrid? Yes, you can. And I honestly think that Dylan Thieneman has the skill set that he could play nickel if he wanted to. Would I draft a nickel at this spot? No. But you draft him for the reason that
Yeah.
you would.
And they
Put
have
him at safety.
they
but
have
you,
Jacob
But you
Parrish.
can move him. Typical Packers fan, bringing up a Packers example, but Javon Bullard. We took him in the second round.
Yeah.
He was a safety prospect, and all he did was play nickel for us.
Yeah. He's got a lot of versatility, too.
Yeah.
He can drop in and play basically linebacker on third down, too.
Yeah. So all I'm saying is I like it.
And the Bucs are at a weird spot because I think you really want to draft an edge rusher there, but do you want to go down to Falk or Mesidor or Cassius Howell? Like, a lot of those guys feel like you're not getting great value here. And that brings me to the New York Jets, and I don't really love the way the board fell for them either.
Yeah.
Because I really would like a receiver, maybe a guard after losing Elijah Vera Tucker. They did bring in the guy from the Raiders, can't remember his name. And then receiver's not looking too pretty here, so then I'm thinking edge, but Akeem Mesidor does not fit their timeline at all.
No.
I think he would be
No.
a decent pick for like the Lions here if they wanted to go edge because they're in a winning window. I'm really left stuck. Like, if this were the actual NFL draft, I'd be curious if they could try to trade up to get a receiver or trade down to fall to another range where a receiver might make more sense. Considering this is not that range, it's just hard because the current coaching staff, I don't know how long they're going to be running the show. Like,
Yeah.
who Frank Reich likes on offense, does that matter for next year's version of the New York Jets or 2 years version from now, the New York Jets? I don't know. I'm going to spice it up a bit. We're seeing a lot more multiple tight end looks in the NFL. I think Jeremy Ruckert is their tight end too. They don't really have much besides Mason Taylor. Offensive weapon, can Kenyon Sadiq play more in a receiver role? I think that could be interesting. Let's
Matt,
give...
I have the answer for you.
What?
Yes.
He can.
Kenyon Sadiq can play that
Can-
receiver role.
He can.
4-3-9.
4-3-9, and he fits perfect into that slot kind of role, except he can block, and that's what separates him from Stowers.
A good blocker. A
He's
very
a
good blocker.
Good blocker.
For his, he can be a move blocker. Like, you don't want to put him on a 270-pound defensive end.
He can
he's
chip.
because he's 240.
but it doesn't matter. He has that.
Yeah,
He has the.
But he's a
strength
move.
to
He's
do
a
it.
move tight end, not a wide tight end.
He has the film on those massive DNs, blocking them. So it's like, I don't know.
I think that he blocks 30 pounds above his size.
Damn. I mean, I thought from watching him block for that one game I was watching, I was like, oh, this is actually not that great. But
Yeah.
then he graded out better. So, other guys are complimentary to him that I trust. So,
He's definitely optimal as a move blocker for sure. You don't want to put him at wide unless you have
so
to.
I'm going to take Kenyon Sadiq. I don't want to fall down to the Omar Cooper, Denzel Boston, Casey Concepcion range. And I really do like a weapon for them because besides Garrett Wilson, it's not too great.
I haven't seen that mock, but I like that.
All right, that puts the Lions up at pick 17.
Well, typically no one takes Jordan Tyson in the top 8.
I'm telling you, don't.
I like it.
I'm saying.
I like it. You don't see it a lot, so Jordan Tyson usually falls.
I'll say this: don't be surprised if he goes in the top 10, but also don't be surprised if he gets picked in the second round.
That would be insane value.
But I mean, it happens. You have injuries.
It's the Will Johnson, it's
Yeah.
the Siobhan Ravel,
Yeah,
where you just don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
The
You're like-
Jets would nom, scoop him up at fucking the first pick of the second round. Very
Yeah.
happily.
Oh, totally. They'd trade up.
yeah, yeah. But I'm gonna have to defer to Matt here. Matt is the offseason expert. All I know is that they could use a right tackle.
Well,
'Cause-
they could use any tackle.
Well, Penei Sewell ideally is going to move to the left because he's going to be better than anyone you draft here.
yeah, I think at this point, we should view Penei Sewell as adjustable.
Okay.
They've said that they have like really thought about moving him to left. I think let's just assume he can do either because he's such a freak. They've talked about left. And I think we can draft him a right or a left, and I bet they'll figure it out.
And it's like I want to say Freeling here. I think with his upside, it's hard to go past here.
He's got a great body.
He has a great body.
7-foot wingspan.
Great body.
The only problem is he a dog enough that Dan Campbell would want to play him? It seems like every single player on that team just has some sort of fire in him. Is that because Dan Campbell instills it, or is that because he seeks out players that are are those types of dogs?
It's a good question. I don't know.
Freeling supposedly has some nasty run blocker dog to him. That's supposed to be part of his profile. He gets after guys. The issue with Freeling is he has 6 good games of tape. He doesn't have an extended track record of actually being good at football. He was very bad to start this past season and then very good down the stretch. Yeah. This is very much a developmental, like we don't expect him to be super solid year one, but he projects as like a great tackle because of his body.
Yeah, the comp is Colton Miller, the left tackle on the Raiders, who went in the first round because of elite size and elite athletic traits, but not insane college production. And he turned out to be a top 10 tackle in the league. But there's plenty of times where you see the opposite happen.
Broderick Jones.
Yep.
The worst part about this is Freeling is the only one that I would, of the guys left, that I would feel comfortable taking in the top 15.
Yep.
And it's like anything beside, like below Freeling right now, I'm like, it feels like kind of a reach at 17. And I feel like for that reason, and it is a need for their team, I would probably take Monroe Freeling right here.
I like the upside. He has an ideal, like he's so athletic for how tall and strong and long he is. And you saw some good tape to end the year in the SEC. They have Hank Fraley as O-line coach. You just got to, if your coaching staff is all you think it is, develop the guy. Like he has some good tape, develop him. I like it.
Vikings sitting here at 18 on the clock. I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to get right to it. The top player in my board here and a need for the Vikings, in my opinion, Jermod McCoy. The Vikings don't have a ton of cornerback depth. They don't have any elite corner talent in general. Matt, what does the Vikings cornerback talent look like?
They have their one guy. They have Byron Murphy they paid.
Yeah.
I didn't put it as a need when I was looking at it today. Let me take a check here. Keep talking about it.
I don't think it's necessarily a need. But when I think about Brian Flores,
it's a little tough because they have Isaiah Rodgers, who played well for them this past year, and then they just signed James Pierre on a medium-sized contract, who was on the Steelers, who had a great year at limited snaps. So it could be a long-term play for sure. Like these guys are all on shorter contracts, but you would think that their corner room is full as of this point.
Yeah, Pierre was awesome per PFF.
Penis Pro Football.
Penis Pro Football.
Pro Penis Football.
McCoy's just the best player on the board to me here. His pro day, it seems dumb, but like just him proving that he still has the fluidity and speed and explosiveness.
And having elite cover corners means Brian Flores can do whatever he wants with the front seven.
And the idea of giving McCoy, a guy who I think has a ceiling as high as Quinyon Mitchell in terms of fluidity with his hips, open field speed, and great film in his 1 year in 2024. I don't buy the McCoy is injury prone as much as I would with Tyson. Tyson, who's had 3 injuries in 3 years. McCoy has 1 torn ACL, which is not a deal breaker for me in terms of value. I don't think anyone would be shocked if he walked in and was a top 20 corner in the league right away. Giving him to Flores right off the bat just makes me excited in terms of what the Vikings defense can do. And they don't have obvious needs in terms of guys that are going to be there and really help their team. Say maybe Caden McDonald, but doesn't have the pass rush upside. I'll take Jermod McCoy.
Dang. That brings it to the Panthers, who I identified their needs today as wide receiver, tight end, center, and D tackle. Well, there's no one near the top of the board right now at any of those positions. So then you got to look at just best player available, a guy that can be useful for a long time. And even then, I'm just looking at the list. Their offensive line looks to be decent besides center, and there's no centers worth taking here. I don't like Mesidor that much. I do like Falk, but they already have Nick Scorton, who it is like a bigger run-stopping defensive end. Who else do they have? They have a star defensive end. No, they have Derek Brown. Yeah, I think I'm going to go Keldrick Falk here.
I like it. I like edge here a lot.
I think he's a guy that you can project to play better going forward. No matter what, he's going to be solid against the run. And you're just not going to mess with him. He's going to be impactful. You hope you can develop him to a more of a pass rush ceiling because he does have the athleticism. We haven't seen the moves yet, but I think this is like hitting a single, and it sucks to hit a single in the first round, but their positions of need just don't align with the board right now.
I mean, I still like it. I like it a lot, and they were a playoff team last year, and so just getting good players. I think it does make sense to go best available.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the Cowboys, via trade with the Green Bay Packers, are up at pick 20. Who did they pick last one? They had
Get the corner.
Monster
Delane.
Mansour Delane. Did I pick that one? No.
I think Miles did.
That's me.
Yeah. Okay. So they showed up their corner room. I think it's time for them to hit defensive tackle.
Mm-hmm. They traded away Osa Odigizua to the Niners for a third-round pick. Niners gave him a big contract. Still have Kenny Clark there and the star on the interior from the Jets, Quinnen Williams. But Clark's getting old. He's on the second to last year of his contract.
Yep.
McDonald makes a ton of sense. Next to Quinnen on the interior is just a pure gap stuffer, take on double teams.
Well, I'm going to do something to you right now. I'm going to go with a guy that I've been higher on than Caden McPounder for a while.
Ooh.
The guy by the name of Peter Woods.
Ooh.
Peter Woods had a little bit of a down year this year,
Yeah.
but his 2024 tape was undeniable. I can't. What was he? Yeah, he was projected to be the 6th overall pick.
Oh yeah, he was like one of the options for number 1 overall.
Big time.
Top 10, projected top 10 all the way up to January.
Yeah, it was a 14% pass rush win rate down to like a 6%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're drafting him, you have to figure out what happened there. What's the story? Why did Clemson fall apart? But if you like that story, he could be a huge game changer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. I like it,
Yeah.
and I'm taking Peter Woods.
Yeah, it comes down to who he is on the inside. His tape, we've seen amazing things.
The Steelers at 21. On the outside, they have Broderick Jones, who's been a huge disappointment from Georgia. They drafted him in the first round 4 years ago now. On the other side, they have Troy Fautanu.
Yep.
Guard tackle kind of hybrid, has been good at them for tackle, a very good run blocker. Now, my perception is skewed. I assume it was Caden McDonald because that's who I have on my board, but I'm not looking at the PFF board. It's like, oh, obviously it's Caden McDonald, but Peter Woods is...
wait, hold up. Do you think that I was going off PFF's board?
Do you have your own board?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Bro, you're sick
right
of-
up here, dude.
Get help.
Top of the dome.
Please go talk to someone. You have something wrong with
I
you.
need to stop listening to podcasts and just fucking get into reality.
Yeah, your therapist is like, so it seems like you're listening to a lot of football podcasts.
I checked your Spotify Wrapped, and it seems like you're spending 2.5 hours a day plus just listening to NFL draft podcasts.
So good.
Is there something wrong? So, I consider tackle to be a huge need for the Steelers. They kind of shored up wide receiver here with signing Michael Pittman. Michael Pittman's not great, but he's very solid. He complements DK Metcalf nicely. Metcalf, downfield ball winner. Pittman winning on quick slants in the inside, over the middle, tough. Tackles a premium position, and the guy who's highest on my board here, a guy who I have at 18 overall, who I really, really worryingly believe in, Max Iheanacho.
Dope.
I love that.
Love this.
Iheanacho was a basketball player throughout all of high school. He didn't play football, I believe, until his senior year of high school. He got introduced then. He went to an LA community college.
Wasn't his AAU coach was like, dude,
Yep.
this whole basketball thing, look, you're good.
He's like, dude, you're a good basketball player. You might go D3, but you are 6'7", 270. So you should probably go fucking play tackle, you idiot.
Well,
Yeah.
He's 270? You sure he's not 330?
Back in high school, I'm saying, before he gained all the weight.
Yeah, your weight can change over time. Just
wait.
let you know.
Just-
So these aren't like permanent?
yeah, I thought I'd clue you in
You're
on that
born.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, we should get
Jim Harbaugh's at your door as your mom is giving birth. It's like, all right, we're gonna need to get him on a regimen.
measurements. Yeah.
Do you have an 18-pound baby? My God.
Yeah.
He's not going to go in the league.
He's got, your baby has 99th percentile arm length. You might want to consider enrolling him in a
This
tackle
kid's
program.
not touching a basketball, okay?
I love Iheanacho. So for a lot of guys, it's like really easy to talk yourself into progression, like them getting better. Iheanacho is like the ultimate example of like, I don't know if this is actually true, but you can really talk yourself into him getting so much better because he has so little football experience. If you get him in with the Steelers, he has ideal movement skills. He's very strong, very long, hyper athletic with that football soccer background from high school. Iheanacho is one of my favorite players in the draft.
That's not talked about a lot, about how people in different parts of the country, there are soccer seasons at different, like in different parts of the year. Mm-hmm. And so places that have football and soccer, like football in the fall, soccer in the spring, they can do both.
Yeah.
And there's something to be said about like soccer players and their just ability, like their balance.
Totally.
And if you can play offensive tackle and still be able to play soccer,
Yeah.
that says if you can be 330 freaking pounds.
Or these guys that play power forward in high
Yeah.
school, and it's like, wow, he's a real athlete, not just a big
Just
guy.
imagine someone that you know who's 330 pounds. Imagine him doing like a rainbow or like a bicycle kick. Yeah, no.
Dude.
Okay, just because you play soccer does not mean you're doing bicycle kicks.
Can you
Hey,
can you imagine?
anecdotal. Everyone I know can.
Can you imagine you're in the high school soccer field and then at defense you look back there? There's just a guy who's 6 inches taller. Everyone he's like not 270. He's 330. Look at him going like, holy fuck!
Isn't it sad that some of these like 330 pounders are going to run a 40-yard dash probably faster than me?
You're selling yourself
yeah.
short. That's why you got to
Yeah.
get in the gym. You got to start training, man.
If I train sprints, I don't know how close I could get, but it is crazy the level of athletes that we have.
Caleb
Talking
Banks
about.
is
Oh
like
my.
330, 340.
He'd
Runs
cook
like
me.
4'8".
Yeah.
I'd be in the dust.
Something that you guys don't know as listeners is that we have something in the works, and we're all training really hard, and we're actually going to declare for the NFL draft, and
Oh.
hopefully that we get invites
Yeah.
to the combine.
Come on, at least like a third-round pick for me, right?
Yeah.
I mean, a third. that seems fair.
You do have ideal height, length.
I'm a good guy.
Great character guy.
Yeah,
Locker room guy.
Great for the locker room.
Locker room.
Miles from Wisconsin didn't go to college,
Yeah.
but he has insane measurables.
He's been working in HVAC for 8 months, and he's really been like. The reports are that his work ethic is unbelievable.
I would say his experience is intermediate. Very experienced. All right. I'm looking at the Los Angeles Chargers here, and Miles, I'm going to give you a couple options because I can't decide. So I think what you'd really love to do for the Chargers is sign a guard. They had poor interior play last year, and then they lost Zion Johnson. Pretty much, they signed a center from the Commanders. I forget, Biotish.
Yeah. Great deal.
Yeah, on a great deal. So, but they have 2 guard openings where you really don't like what you have. So, Miles, first, I'm going to give you Caden Proctor. Caden Proctor is a big, strong guy, played tackle for Alabama, but projects to be able to do either at the NFL level. You're gonna draft him to be a guard. The downside is Mike McDaniel typically likes smaller offensive linemen who can work better in zone running schemes, but Jim Harbaugh is the head coach, and he likes big, strong, athletic, beefy men. And we don't know how long McDaniel's going to stay. Harbaugh's going to be there for a while.
Right.
So 1 is Caden Proctor. 2 is going to be Akeem Mesidor. The
Oh.
Chargers are in a winning window. They have Khalil Mack still there, but he's getting older. Odafe Owe just left. They need to get pressure from their edges in their scheme. They're going to try and run the Minter scheme again, even without him being there. And Mesidor is ready-made to help them in their current winning window with Justin Herbert. Those are my 2 options for you, Miles.
So they also have a good player from Ohio State they drafted a few years ago at edge, or 2 years ago at edge.
Tuli Pelotu.
Tuli Pelotu.
Yep. So that's 2 guys.
Right.
They're not a third guy in that room you like.
Max in his last year.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, they signed him to a 1-year deal.
Right. He's got 1 or 2 years left in the league. Still very good against the run. On my board, I have Mesidor at 27. I have Caden Proctor at 38. I am not a believer in Proctor. I think there's really something to be said about being too big to play offensive tackle, offensive guard. I think carrying that level of weight just like scares me in terms of the precedent.
Interesting.
Yeah.
He doesn't fit in McDaniel's scheme. Connor, what were you going to say?
I was going to say it's like the typical if he doesn't really pan out at tackle, you could try him at guard. But it's like if you're not confident that he's going to pan out at tackle, and you're also
Yeah, but if you have more of a strength profile, you might play better at guard.
but he's not fast enough. It's like you can try him at both positions. He doesn't.
Okay.
He's not that great
This
at
is
either.
the most Cope bullshit I've ever heard.
I'm
You are
telling
Mr.
you.
Positions on offensive line.
But
I want every single guy I
But
draft
he
to play
can't.
all 5.
No.
This guy, can you play tackle or guard? Pick a position.
So someone like Jennings Dunker, it's like
Pick one.
you can put him at tackle. Is he going to be the best tackle in the league? No. You can put him at guard. He's going to be the best guard in the league? No. But he can do both. I'm pretty confident.
Did you guys see his testing? For his size, he is a crazy athlete.
Yeah.
He's
I didn't see
not
his
some
testing.
guy that like can't
Yeah.
move out there. Like he
Proctor?
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, on film, it doesn't translate.
Also, Tyler Booker, 12th overall pick, fat, not an athlete for the Cowboys, from Alabama, baller. In his rookie season, baller.
debatable.
So
Caden Proctor said he looks up to Tyler Booker. He taught him a lot about how to be.
If he looks up
player.
to Tyler Booker, that means that he is below Tyler Booker.
Your attitude, I'm not vibing with it.
there's a divide in this podcast.
Hey, Matt, but you have the pick.
No, Miles gets to make the pick. I laid out the options.
So I have Messidor higher in my board.
So do it. Make the freaking pick, man. Stop lollygagging. What are we doing here? We're podcasting. Come on, man. We're making the pick. Akeem Mesidor.
Hold on. No.
Oh,
Did you click?
no.
Okay.
I didn't.
I'm looking at Messidor right now
should've.
on my board.
Okay.
I'm thinking about Mike McDaniel as a preference for lighter offensive guards, guys that can move around.
Yeah.
They just signed Cole Strange from the Dolphins. They signed a center as well, Biotish from the Commanders.
Yep.
I have Proctor lower on my board, but I really trust McDaniel's ability to curtail the scheme to whatever he wants it to be. I think that he's versatile. He's shown that throughout all of his jobs, and I really trust him as an elite offensive mind. And the more I think about it, Messidor fucking scares me. He was great last year. He's in his 6th year in college. He's already 24. It's going to be 25 by the time the season starts. Mm-hmm. Injury history in college. One great year of production under Jason Taylor at Miami. Messidor's higher on my board. I'm going to take Proctor.
You know, it's funny. Caden Proctor was also projected to go 6th overall up until August of last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think there's something to show. It's like a guy balled out earlier in his career, and he didn't ascend to new heights, but like he also just was consistent. He kept playing at a high level.
Well,
Also-
this was his highest graded year.
Okay. So I think there was just, this wasn't a Peter Woods situation. Like Proctor was still really impactful for them.
Harbaugh would love Caden Proctor.
That's my thought too. You know, talking about the Joe Alt versus Malik Neighbors. Like we view offensive linemen as a weapon. I just picture Proctor going there.
He would love that. And I get the Chargers are in their winning window right now, but the more I think about Messidor, even in the moment, it just it scares me. It really scares me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that means that I am now up with the Philadelphia Eagles. And there's something I'm going to do right here. And I'm going to cut to the chase. I'm going to take the guy that we chose not to take, and Akeem Messidor.
I like it.
And you know what? It was just we were talking about the Chargers and their winning window.
Yep.
Arguably, the Eagles are in their winning window, and they have been for the past 7,000 years.
Yeah, their window's weird, but I think it's still open.
It actually is true. It's like this, like, it's not like it's closed, but like they kind of like didn't, they were through the window, and they came kind of back, and that's where they're at, and they're trying to go back through the window. It's not open or closed. It's just has always been open.
It's like
They haven't been through it.
those windows where you pull the bottom down and then the top like slides down a little bit, and you're like, I swear I closed this window. Why is there still a draft? And then you close that, and it pulls the bottom one up. You just can't close the window on them.
Matt, I know exactly what you're saying.
I really have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh well, maybe you weren't poor.
If
He's an HVAC guy. He doesn't know about
he
drafts.
doesn't know windows.
I don't fucking know what's going on with Windows. I don't understand them. They scare me. If the Eagles take Messidor, is everyone saying, "Oh, Howie did it again. He took Messidor at a great value"?
I don't think so.
No, what's going to happen is someone's going to let someone fall, and then Howie's going to take him, and everyone's going to go, "Oh, Howie did it again."
Like when
Took Fernando Mendoza at
24.
Like when they got Quinion and Cooper DeJean and Jahad Campbell those last two drafts, all those guys were after their consensus.
Yep.
Way after. Way after.
Like I think DeJean and Jahad they actually had to trade up for. Whereas I think this is more Mesidor's range. You're up, Miles.
The Cleveland Browns are on the clock via the trade with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
They took Francis Mauigoa at pick 6 for guard tackle versatility.
They took Francis Mauigoa at 6. They have needs across their roster. PFF listed as quarterback, wide receiver. The top player in my board here is Omar Cooper Jr., a massive riser over the past year. Cooper Jr. started off the process being rated lower than Surratt 3 months ago. Surratt was considered to be a borderline first-round pick, and Cooper is kind of being talked about as a second or third-round pick. I watched a lot of Indiana film. I haven't watched a lot of film, but I've watched a lot of Indiana. And the small part with him, he was like, I think Cooper's way better. I ended up being right on that, which is sick. But
well, time will tell.
Time will tell.
But yeah.
I feel very strongly that Cooper's the much better player than Surratt. He's an elite.
Can we pause on that one?
Yeah.
So remember when we talked about how like the Jeremiah Love play from 2024 was the best play.
Yep.
Talked about Omar Cooper this year, and it's like
It's true.
I genuinely went through and watched like the best plays and not in order, like one of those videos like top best plays college football.
Yeah.
The second best play I saw was the Fran Mendoza, where he just like he tucks it, runs, design QB, can run for like 15 yards out, just trucks, stays contact balance for no reason at all.
So-
This corked up white boy is just torqued.
6'5", 235, take this ball.
I watched that one and I was like, I don't think anything can beat this. Like I've seen that Omar Cooper play. I don't think it can beat it. And I watched Omar Cooper play and I was like, yeah, this totally fucking beats
so
it.
cool.
This was amazing.
It's like literally like in the action movies. Like, have you guys seen those sequences where like The Flash or Quicksilver, where it's like they slow down time and they're like analyze, like move the bullet out of the way, like hit the bad guy here, and they're like doing all these things.
Yeah.
That was what Omar Cooper did. He like stopped time, was like, oh, I'm just gonna reach my toe a little farther to get in bounds.
For those that don't know, look up Omar Cooper Jr.
Crazy
Penn State.
yeah, crazy touchdown.
Crazy
catch.
touchdown catch.
You'll find it.
You'll find it.
Okay, that was your pick.
Yep.
Locking it in. Yeah, I like that pick. Maui Noah and Omar Cooper. Sometimes you see like Carnell Tate, and at this range you might be taking Blake Miller, Ian Ancher, Lomu. I think either way are good options. The wide receiver tackle range there works for both their picks. It'll be interesting to see how they go.
Hold up, Matt. Did you measure us to decide picks in a certain manner that would make you have pick 25?
Oh yeah,
The Chicago Bears.
A broken ruler is right once a week. I don't know. Man, so this kind of sucks because I've been seeing this as a consensus lately, and I want to be more interesting,
No, this is good.
but I really do think the Bears' biggest need is D tackle, and I do like Cade McDonald, but I'm seeing some things where maybe it doesn't quite line up with Dennis Allen's scheme, and I know the Bears to be best player available. We talked about Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. He's not our favorite player. I know Daniel Jeremiah, I just saw today, has him at his 16th overall player. So that's enough for me to just say, let's take a bet on him. We signed Kobe Bryant in free agency for $14 million.
Holy crap.
What's his
thought that he-
freaking nickname? I was going to say Black Panther. I'm
Bean?
like, that is not Black Mamba. Jeez. Kobe Bryant, the Black Panther. Black Mamba. But the other safety spot is pretty much wide open. And getting a guy at the top of the consensus board, I think, makes a lot of sense. Go BPA. Also a position of need. Emmanuel McNeil-Warren to the Bears.
I like it. I think he is the most question marks for me on the defensive prospects. But you know what? There comes a point where if you're not seeing it and everyone else is, you're probably wrong. Like if you think if you have problems with everyone and you think everyone's fucked up, you're probably the one that's fucked up.
I mean, but there's other guys that have him in the 30s. So it's up to. It's just that I don't want to really reach for an edge rusher right now or an interior. I think TJ Parker would be interesting, but I really would rather hit D tackle for the Bears than D end. And Cade McDonald, I don't know. I like him. It's hard to say there. Let's go on to the Bills.
Well, so for my board, for the Bills, I'm glad that you passed on him. I think it was a toss up between Caden McDonald and Emmanuel McNeil-Warren here.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're looking at, well, you could take an offensive lineman. I don't like Caleb Lomu's transition inside.
No.
Personally,
Too big, too long.
so they don't have that need on the outside. So if you draft Lomu, you'd have to switch someone else inside.
Yeah.
Don't think it makes sense.
They can't. They have Spencer Brown and Deion Dawkins. I believe those are two bookends.
Exactly. And so just to make things quicker here, that just means that you'd have to go Caden McDonald. Caden McPounder, rip PFF.
R.I.P.
But I think he makes the most sense. Big guy, 6'3", 330.
99th percentile run defense
Yep.
win rate. or
Yeah.
how that
elite,
goes.
elite run guy,
Just sturdy.
sturdy.
Really sturdy human being.
He'll stuff your gaps, and he fits very nicely next to Ed Oliver.
He'll stuff your turkey too.
He'll stuff your turkey. He hits very nicely next to Ed Oliver, who's a gap shooter, more light.
Yeah, they have Deanne Walker, who's also a nose tackle, but I think in their 3-4 defense that they're bringing in with the guy from Wisconsin,
Jim Leonard.
Jim Leonard, I think this makes sense.
Yeah.
The San Francisco 49ers are on the clock. They have a need at edge, which is TJ Parker intriguing me. I like the idea of Denzel Boston here. Obviously, the Mike Evans timeline is limited. Connor hates Denzel Boston.
Don't hate him. I don't select him in the first round.
I like him a lot. I think that they could use guys at corner. They have Deommodore Lenoir, who's good for them on the outside. Looking at Pons here, who's very high on my board compared to consensus. Zion Young, the edge out of Missouri, strong, great on the edge, sets the edge very well.
Lomu?
Power, pass rusher. Lomu a little bit lower on my board. I have him at 32. And now that Connor said it, I have done a million mock drafts. Lomu ends up being a guy who falls to me at the 49ers. He makes a little bit too much sense here. Trent Williams in constant contract battles with the 49ers, always trying to get another year on his extension. He's like 37. He's really old. Does anyone know who the other 49ers tackle is?
His name is Colton McKivitz.
McKivitz.
I was just looking at it today. It's one of those things where if you don't pay attention, you always get shocked. He graded out like a top 10 tackle last year, right tackle. Never heard of him. He's like
Yeah.
in year 3. He was like a 3rd or a 5th round pick or something, and he just balls out.
Just like Zach Tom, or like if you talk to a Packers fan, like, dude, yeah, Zach Tom is a savage. Like, no one comes off the right side ever.
Yeah.
Another thing I learned today, the Colts lost Braden Smith, their right tackle. They took a guy in the 4th or 5th round who played 4 or 5 games for them last year. Just played really well. The offensive line coach and Shane Steichen are like, oh, yeah, we really love what we've seen from him. We trust him going into this year. It's like, that's the type of shit that just makes a difference.
Oh, that's the biggest difference.
You have
maker.
an offense,
Yeah.
like a premium position in a 3rd or 5th round that just starts playing amazingly. You don't need to spend $20 million on Braden Smith. You get this $1 million guy
Did
playing
Braden
well.
Smith go to the Texans?
Yes.
Texans. Now that Connor said Lomu, tackle's such a premium position. Lomu's a very long, rangy defender. Based on, to be honest, the podcasts I've listened to, I think Lomu has a little bit more guard versatility than we'd think. So they could start him at guard, move him out to tackle.
Ooh.
Lomu might be a bit more of a project at tackle, good mover. But Lomu and the 49ers, for whatever reason, intuitively makes sense to me. I'll take him.
I think it makes sense. Even if he doesn't play a ton this year, if you're playing McKivitz and you get one more year of Trent Williams, you got him for next year.
And also, if Trent Williams ends up getting hurt, it gives you someone there.
Bro.
He's old.
You look at Trent Williams' PFF page, it is just like 80 or 90 for 15 straight years.
Yeah.
He's 38. He's just a monster.
Yeah.
And it's like Drew Dahlman on the Bears just retired at age 27. It's so crazy the difference you see in the NFL. Brings me to the Texans, another spot where I don't love the what's on the board versus what they need. I think what running back I'd like to see them hit. David Montgomery, he's fine. He's not a great lead back. Center they still need. Guard they still need.
Not a Woody Marks guy?
No, I'm not a Woody Mark. I mean, I think he could be part of a room. One thing I do want to bring up, part of my research, is the Texans line is not you'll hear that it's a doomsday scenario with C.J. Stroud. They brought in Braden Smith for right tackle. Wyatt Teller is a longtime Brown. They brought him in for cheap for left guard. He can be serviceable even though he's getting older.
Injury prone.
And then they have Ariante Ursary, left tackle, Ed Ingram, right guard, and Jake Andrews, center, that all played fine. So
That's really not that bad.
Right now, it's like they could not draft a guy in the 1st or 2nd round, and their line could be okay.
I hadn't thought about it that way until
But
now.
it depends on injuries. It's just I think some of those like moves on the boundary that happen in free agency you don't pay attention to can make a difference. I am going to go Caleb Banks here. This is an injury scenario depending on what's going on with his foot. Can he rely on that? Anytime you are any position in the NFL, you need a functioning foot to plant with. But
Allegedly,
they
yes.
have Sheldon Rankins and Logan Hall. Not a lot of difference makers that are younger that they aren't paying on a veteran contract. They would love a guy that can disrupt in that D'Amico Ryans defense. So I'm going Caleb Banks.
The upside of Banks here,
Yeah.
If it works out, you're just like,
unfair.
they're just going to dominate for another 4 years.
Yeah, that's the thing is that he is the very Hulk type prospect where if you're a coach and you can tap into whatever needs to be tapped in, where he can control this, where you watch him and it's like, I'm scared. Like I'm 1,000 miles away from this human being and I am afraid.
Yeah.
But other times you're like, I don't think this guy even wants to like be there right now. I have no idea what's even going on.
He's a classic effort guy, and
Yeah.
if there's one situation I want to drop any player into to like maximize effort, it's D'Amico Ryans, and then him watching Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter every day, and just watching these guys being like, holy fuck, I have to up my game, like because these guys are just
Yeah.
going absolutely hard, and D'Amico's
Yeah.
a great motivator. It seems like so. Banks, awesome pick here.
Yeah, and so that brings us to Kansas City at 29. They took Carnell Tate at 9. I don't like that pick, but it is the pick that was made.
Yeah.
Right now, looking at the board, if I was Kansas City, I'd probably go the best available defensive prospect. I don't like their defense right now. I think that they've moved off of players, and every year it's like that is the elephant in the room of what's holding them back. Patrick Mahomes can do whatever Patrick Mahomes needs to do with whatever like offensive weapons they have. Ideally, I would have liked to have gotten a better prospect at 9, but now I have to figure it out at 29.
To be fair, Carnell Tate is the consensus like 7th overall player on the board.
Yes, but
You're lower on him.
if you could take a defensive prospect and then have the options at offense right now, I like that more.
So, say we hadn't taken Carnell Tate, we'd take a Caleb Downs. Who would you
Yeah.
be leaning here?
I would have leaned Boston. here.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I mean, the X makes a lot of sense for them in terms
for
of
them
Yeah.
specifically.
Yeah, that's fair.
Any other team? No. But I can rely on Patrick Mahomes' accuracy to make up for what I view as Denzel Boston's lack of separation.
Yep.
And it just helps Rashee Rice and Worthy play how they want to
Exactly.
play.
Yep.
Yep. But since Carnell Tate was taken at 9, I can't do that here. A lot of players that are pretty good on the board still. I'm pretty high on Colton Hood and Cassius Howell in the right scheme. I don't think Cassius Howell fits well with Kansas City on defense right now. I think if I were them, I would have to try and solve the Trent McDuffie gap.
And Jalen Watson.
And Jalen Watson. And for me right now, Colton Hood is my CB3.
Sure.
So I have to do that here.
I think that's electric. I think, you talk about Spags being able to develop defensive backs. They can take a first rounder and still have plenty of room for later round picks to develop. Their secondary got reset.
Well, and also, not even like 2 months ago, I was hearing people talk about Colton Hood being the second cornerback over Jamal McCoy. And aren't they they were on the same team.
Yeah, I think his tape, there was a week where people had some fun, like, smarter guys came in. I think it's good. He's probably in the right range now.
Yeah.
Traitsy, really good in man.
All right, Miles, Miami via Denver.
Spencer Fano.
The Miami via Denver Dolphins take Spencer Fano at 12 overall. They're sitting here at 30, the asset from the Jalen Waddle trade. Fano's the offensive line piece they can build around forever. I'm looking at the rest of their roster, and there's a lot of different places I could go here. The highest player on my board is T.J. Parker, but they have
Is that not such a Packersy player?
Parker?
Yeah.
Length, run defender on the outside.
Does that not
Traitsy.
seem so Packersy right here?
Seems very Packers to me. I'm not sure where he's at in the PFF board, but this kind of makes perfect sense to me. I'm looking at Terrell, but I don't like the idea of kind of putting Terrell out there in the island as a smaller guy, as the cornerback one from the start, like the start of his career.
Yeah.
T.J. Parker here. They go with the Packers route. They just build on edge and tackle or guard. They build
A developable edge. Like Mesidor wouldn't make sense here.
Oh, no.
No.
Yeah.
Parker's still young.
Yep.
Parker's 2024 film had him projected to be a top 10 pick this past year. He's a power guy. Integrated at Clemson like everybody else this year. Was great in the Senior Bowl. Dominant. A guy who can be good on the outside and run and pass. I think Parker makes too much sense.
Dude, what happened to Clemson's just team this year?
Dude, so when
DJ Parker was projected to be a third overall pick going into August.
it's like anything else in life. If you go in with something with the expectations that you're going to be awesome, and plenty of college football analysts, including Joel Klatt, the leading college football analyst, took Clemson to win the national championship.
Yeah.
They were like third overall in the country to start the year, and then you lose like 3 of your first 6 games, and all of a sudden you're out.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
It just makes it kind of makes sense to me, where it's like, I'm just going to check. It's just crazy that all those guys checked out.
Who was
Yeah.
their quarter?
Klubnik.
Klubnik. Yeah, and he was supposed to be
The first rounder.
a draftable guy too.
Yeah.
and he dropped out. Okay, going over to the Patriots. Wide receiver was often mocked to them before they signed.
Dobbs.
They got Dobbs, right? Yeah. I still like that room between Pop Douglas and Dobbs and
Kayshon
Boutte. And then, Kyle Williams they had in third round last year for good depth. So I think I'm going to shy away from that. I think I'm going to give them their right tackle of the future. They have Morgan Moses. He's 35. And Blake Miller's still here. He's still in that first tier of tackles. He's actually the last tackle left that you would consider drafting the first round.
Yep.
Patriots love to still see him here. Right tackle of the future, Blake Miller. He's a guy, he had over 50 starts in college. Solid. Really athletic. You like to see more strength from him against power rushers, but he's still a first-round tackle.
All right, I'm sitting here with Seattle, and allegedly there was a call that came in. Beep, beep.
Hello?
Hi, is this the Arizona Cardinals?
Yes, this is Monty Austin Ford speaking.
Are you trying to trade up?
Wait. I'm the Arizona Cardinals right now.
Well, yes. I mean, your
was
assistant
them at
picked up
3,
the
sorry.
phone.
Oh, yeah, you had him at 3. I don't think you have pick 34, though.
Actually, my name is Monty Austin Fort Jr. I'm his younger brother.
Can you get the
Who
phone
has
to
the
the man
same
in
name.
charge?
Give me the phone, Junior. Get over here.
I'd really like to do this deal, but this guy is
Get off
telling me
my
to
phone. Sorry, my son's such a dick.
I heard that you wanted to make a deal to get up and jump.
Yeah, we don't have a quarterback right now, and honestly, I don't want to do this, but their fan base is kind of sad, so I kind of have to. Here's a quarterback. What do we think? Maybe I give you a 4th, and I go up from 34 to 32.
I would drop back 2 picks and do that with you.
Thanks. Shit, what's your name?
I don't even know my name.
Miles, we know it. He just won the Super Bowl.
John Schneider.
John Schneider, I love you. Let's do this.
Let's get a 5th-year option on Ty Simpson.
All right, so 34 and 104 for 32.
I'm thinking dynasty draft. That's pick number 104. I'm like the 104. That could be one of the receivers. That could
Heck
be
yeah.
Carnell Tate or Jordan Tyson.
All right, and that puts me.
No, I'm the Cardinals now.
All right, fine. Okay.
Fine.
And me as Monty Austin Fort Sr. CJ Allen is just going to really round out this defense. Now, let's have a Ty Simpson conversation. Is he going to be the future of a franchise? Probably not. But the upside for these teams, like what the Giants did with Tyler Shuck and what the Giants did with Jackson Dart and Saints did with Tyler Shuck, it's such a low risk compared to a top 10 pick. And Ty Simpson has some upside.
Yeah.
He's not that short. He's not that small. His arm is not that weak. And yeah, he didn't have a lot of starts, but I do think there's still some upside he could grow into.
I think if the Cardinals actually go through with this, I think he's starting midseason. No doubt.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
No doubt. Hey, the only thing that really has a knock on him is his pressure grade.
Yes.
And that's a sole result of being in the game with that pressure.
Yeah.
Bad offensive line in Alabama despite Caden Proctor.
And he didn't get a lot of starts to face live bullets.
And I really I understand that you're looking at the evidence of the amount of starts mattering. I get that. But there comes a point when I'm like, you can't just make a generalization about everyone who doesn't have the 17 starts. You can't do it.
It's a bad opinion.
It's a bad opinion, especially for Ty Simpson because he had great tape.
And especially for pick 32. If you're telling me I can't use pick 32 to take a quarterback because he should have started 7 more games, it's like, that's a random metric. This is a real human being. This is not a number of starts that I'm drafting. It's a human being.
I have a really interesting thought process, or I just want to appeal to you guys on this. I don't think Simpson's ceiling is higher than being the 14th best quarterback in the NFL. If Simpson's projection is he ends up being the 26th best quarterback in the NFL, is that worth the 32nd pick?
Talent-wise or stats-wise?
Just overall value to the game, how much he impacts winning.
Stats-wise, he definitely has it in the top 10 ceiling. But
really,
talent-wise, I don't see it.
I think he could get within
Cousins season.
He could get within the top 18, which I would say quarterbacks that you like to have.
I just think it's interesting to think about trading up, or this is a minor trade up, but just like taking guys in the first round there. Simpson is not ever going to be a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah, but
in the
Tyler
NFL.
Shuck isn't either.
Right. Tyler Shuck's 26 though, which makes a big difference. Or 25 on draft day.
Yeah, wouldn't that make you want to draft him less?
Yeah, which is why I went in the second round.
No. Or yeah, he went pick 35 or something.
I think
32 versus 35 is the same thing.
I think it's interesting to think about quarterback value and how high you can take a guy where it's very clear that his ceiling is not being a Super Bowl winner.
Yeah,
he's a guy
like Bryce Young, 101.
Simpson is a guy who will never be a game changer, but in the right system, in the right situation, with the right development, he could be league average.
But the thing is with quarterback, it's not the same as these like other positions. Ty Simpson can be that guy.
And how much
saying that that like he isn't going to be that guy is just objectively wrong.
No way. There's no way he ends up being a game changer, top 8 quarterback.
Yeah, but you don't have to be a game changer to win the Super Bowl.
If you have the right situation around you.
Yeah.
Which is what I'm saying.
Okay.
But if you're the Cardinals, like you don't know when your next chance to get a quarterback is. And if you are terrible and you have a top 3 pick and there's 3 quarterbacks next year, you just trade Ty Simpson for a 4th or a 5th and you take a quarterback anyways.
I'd be ecstatic if I was the Arizona Cardinals and I got Ty Simpson at 32.
I think it's a great pick.
Yeah. But
because how badly do the Cardinals need Cassius Howell right now?
Not really at all.
How badly do they need Avion Terrell?
No, they need Ty Simpson.
If there was a tackle still available, right?
Yes.
If they could have got Blake Miller,
exception.
that is a little. I would probably, that.
Yeah.
But even then, it's like you're nothing without a quarterback. And if you think Ty Simpson has a 29% chance of becoming the 18th best quarterback, then I think it's worth this pick.
Agreed.
Yeah. All right, Miles. Now you're up with the Jets.
The New York Jets are sitting here with their first 2 picks in the first round. They took Arvell Reese, and they took Kenyon Sadiq at 16 with the pick from the Colts. They have a variety of needs here. Simpson's gone. I personally like Nussmeier at about the same level as I do Simpson. That's a hot take, but that's kind of where I'm at. Nussmeier, given his production, I think there's a good chance the Jets might be able to get him at 44 here in the second round, if not the second pick of the third round. I feel good about getting quarterback there, or their most likely scenario, which is they wait till 2027 and take advantage of that deep quarterback class.
I mean, if you're looking at quarterback needs, who would do that in the second round if the Cardinals and the Raiders got someone?
Yeah, chances are that Nussmeier will be there for him at 44 for sure.
Yeah.
Falcons.
The top player
Miami.
on my board here is Denzel Boston. They have needs everywhere. Boston accents nicely with Garrett Wilson. However, I don't like his upside and fit here with the Jets not being a great separator. My gut is to lean towards Avion Terrell, a guy who I have a 25 overall, who I think fairly highly of as a corner. I think he's very good. He's got really fluid hips. He moves well. He's quick. He can play in the slot. He blitzes well. He's good against the run. He'll be a nice starting piece for the Jets on the outside after they lose Sauce Gardner.
Avion Terrell, projected top 15 pick going into August. Dude, Clemson had just an atrocious fall.
That's
off,
why
dude.
everyone picked him. They're like, oh yeah, they have 6 top 15 picks.
That's so crazy
Hey,
to me.
give credit to Blake Miller. He increased his stock on Clemson.
Just because everyone had a tackle need.
All right, via trade, the Seattle Seahawks are up at pick 34.
And I think they were low on picks this year, so this trade makes sense for them.
Yeah.
Get a fourth rounder.
Coming off a Super Bowl, it's like, I mean, no one's in the hot seat now.
Although they could have taken Avion Terrell. So that is one thing.
They could have done that. They definitely could have done that. But I like for them some of the pieces that are still available right now. I had their biggest need right now at edge in the first two rounds. Running back, obviously they have to fill something out with that, but I like what they have with Emmanuel Wilson and Charbonnet right now. But I think getting another piece later on and maybe in round 3 makes sense. But here I like edge.
Yeah.
I think Zion Young fits that, like, just bringing the boom kind of feel.
They want to defend the run with 4.
Mm-hmm.
That's their whole thing.
Yep.
And when DeMarcus Lawrence dies soon,
It's 34.
Zion Young could be the next guy.
I have Cassius Howell higher on my board, but Cassius Howell is not a Seattle defender.
Yeah, and they still have another guy, Derek Hall. I think Derek Hall is more of a pass rusher guy they have.
Yeah. All right. And then that also brings me up again with the Tennessee Titans.
Collusion.
And the Tennessee Titans picked Reuben Bain in the first round. So here at 35. They have the edge available. That took Reuben Bain on the edge.
You got to go one of these receivers that's staring at us, right?
I mean, there's Denzel Boston and Casey Concepcion. We talked about Denzel Boston. I'm not high on Denzel Boston.
Yeah.
He has to have a quarterback.
I think you can let Alec be your ex, and I think you go Concepcion, right?
The only thing with Concepcion is I've dropped on Concepcion a decent amount. He has everything.
Yeah, he's just a great athlete that moves really well.
Just can't catch the ball.
Separates.
He just can't catch the ball. And it's like
Pick 35.
everything before, everything after, great. But it's like so I was listening to someone who compared it to, which I agree with, compared it to the, like, when Drake London goes up, you can see him track the ball. And when he jumps, it's very, like intentional. Like, he's jumping in a specific spot to catch the ball.
Basketball player.
If you watch people like Travis Hunter or Malik Neighbors, they're kind of just jumping.
Okay.
And they're like, okay, the ball's coming. I'm gonna get in the air, and I'm gonna get the ball because I'm that guy.
Yeah.
I don't think Casey Concepcion is that guy.
Oh no, not at all. He's a generated, like, shot play guy.
And so
Mickey Mouse touches.
He's generated.
He's-
It's AI.
he's
It's
AI
computer
generated.
BS. We don't even know what he is.
Concepcion's not a real last name, nor is KC first name.
What's Kevin?
I love Casey Concepcion though.
Did you know that it's just
Ke-
Kevin?
Kevin
Concepcion,
KC. Yeah, so it's Kevin
Concepcion,
KC.
MV. Whatever. We keep not saying our full names. So I won't say
But
it.
it was clear that last year Cam Moore did not have enough time when he was trying to process these plays that Callahan wanted him to.
He had no real, like, tenured receivers either.
Yeah.
Or offensive line.
But right now, Emmanuel Pragnone is staring me in the face. And I love this guy as a prospect, man. I love him. And 6'5", 320, like, he can move. And
This is Alec Iowin or cock-sucking BS.
what are you talking about?
I don't want
dude?
any competition for Alec Iowin, or I'm going to take Emmanuel Pregnon.
They have a real guard need.
They have a real guard.
Io Manor represents as
No, it's a good pick. It's a good pick.
Io Manor should have been a third-round pick, not a fourth.
He should have been a second round.
He should have
pick.
been a second.
But
Matt, with Connor, are you an Io Manor guy?
Just how he played.
yeah, we went through this. If you look at his stats compared to everyone else that was drafted in that draft class at wide receiver, he would have been in that second round, like, group.
I don't think calling him a second's crazy.
No, when he fell, I didn't care. But
Yeah.
seeing how he played as a rookie, I think second-round pick, totally people would have taken him there.
And you know what? When you shore up that offensive line and Cam Ward has more time, his ex-wide receiver is going to get a hell of a lot more targets and a hell of a lot more
All right,
touchdowns.
moving on to the last.
That would be fair. Just given your guys' recent history of collusion, I'm a little bit suspect in terms of the way the draft
Oh
is
my
playing
You're
out.
saying the
gosh.
Seahawks and Cardinals?
That's
or
all
what
I'm
else?
saying.
Wait,
That's
what
literally
are we,
all I'm
what are we
saying.
clued on here?
All I'm saying is
I'm
that
sorry Mick Jr. picked up the phone.
Zion Young mysteriously fell to 34 overall for Connor, who also had the pick for the, let's just move on from that. Collusion's part of the game.
You could have taken Zion Young. All right, the Raiders, Miles.
The Raiders sitting here swapped second-round picks with the Jets, I believe in that Devontae Adams trade, which is how this happened.
They have Dozer.
They have the
No,
Bulldozer.
the order just changes. All these 4 teams have the same record, but it swaps every round. Like you get the first
Are
pick.
you breaking news to me right now?
You get the first pick in the first round,
Dun-dun-dun,
but if you have the same
dun-dun-dun.
record, then you get the last pick of that range in the second round. And then the third round, you get to go first
I
again.
know this too.
I like to think that I know ball.
Hold up, Matt. I don't think this is common knowledge.
No, it's not. I really.
Please, elaborate on that just for a brief 30 seconds. Just
I
rip
think
through
all
it.
these teams had 4 wins. That seems right to me.
3.
No, 3 is really low.
Raiders had 3.
All of them had 3? Damn.
Jets had 3. Titans had 3.
Okay, so assuming all 4 of them have 3, then you look at the quality of the teams they faced, the record. So the Raiders played the worst teams and had only 3 wins, and the Jets. Wait, no. Why are the Jets at 33? Wait, why are the Raiders at 36 but the Jets are at 33? Should it show a trade? I don't know. I'm not going to talk about it live because I messed it up already. But yes, if they have the same record, it swaps every round.
Well,
That's crazy.
I was going to be insecure about my ball knowledge, but you not knowing that makes me a little more secure.
This guy thinks he knows ball, dude. Miles, we got it. Dude.
We gave him
Don't
the
worry
floor. He
about
couldn't
it.
even take advantage. Unbelievable.
All right, who are we taking?
Raiders sitting here. They have a distinct need for an X. I like Pons here, given they have a distinct cornerback need as well, despite the former Packer playing well for them last year.
Eric
Stokes. Boston makes too much sense for them here. They have a nice wide receiver room, not great. I like Jack Besh. I love his dynasty value this year in terms of where he's going to be drafted. Now that Carroll is gone, they're going to play guys that are younger. I think Besh would be great. Besh isn't a true X, though. Boston, a true X. All that matters for the Raiders at this point is building up that offense. Denzel Boston, who I like value-wise here a lot.
I don't like it, but it's not my pick. I'm not the GM.
That's an elite pick. Oh, shoot, I'm up. Okay, the Giants. They just picked Sonny Styles, which was an awesome pick. So we're going to do C.J. Allen to round out that linebacker core of Tremaine Edmonds, Sonny Styles, and C.J. Allen. Just kidding. Oh man.
Are
They
you
had
kidding me?
Casey
You can
Concepcion.
undo a pick. You can undo a pick.
Where?
Right there.
Oh, heck yeah.
Sorry.
You're lucky, dude.
The pick is in.
I'm just saying.
Roger, wait.
C.J. Allen keeps staring at us. I don't think we're as high on C.J. Allen as PFF is here. I love Casey Concepcion, though. I really think he could have gone, at pick 25 and it would have been okay. But now the way at pick 37,
I like it here.
to pair with Malik Neighbors, they really have no one else. They lost Wandale Robinson. So
$20 million man.
premium position at a position of need is great for the Giants here.
Casey Concepcion.
I mean, how could you take Concepcion to the Titans, given that they have one of the highest paid receivers in the NFL there at slot?
Yeah, no, legend, Wandale.
All right, so we're here with the Texans at 38. They've had a couple of picks already, and that would be
They took Caleb Banks at 28.
Caleb Banks. That was the only pick they had. I think that you kind of have to do offensive line now. If your needs are that big, I am under the impression that they have needs at offensive line.
Yeah, I would say they want to get younger and upside,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
they're not screwed this season.
I wouldn't say they're screwed, but you got to do that. I think I might have done that in the first round if the board falls better than it did.
Yep.
But it didn't. And Chase Besantis right now is the highest graded interior that I have as a prospect available. Definitely a riser throughout this all. And I think it's like I've never been high on CJ Stroud. I've always been low on CJ Stroud. Think CJ Stroud is a fraud. But I would like to know if that is because of his offensive line
Yeah.
or if it's because of him.
I know.
And his play caller.
What if he got drafted by O'Connell or Ben Johnson
Yeah.
or anyone competent, what
Yeah.
we have seen.
And so I think you kind of got to go Besantis here. And even at that, if you want to go for interior, he is the next. He is. It's like him, and then a huge drop off.
I like that pick. Browns have picked Maui Noah and Omar Cooper. So offensive line and receiver, two of their biggest needs already hit. What are they going to hit now? Miles.
The Cleveland Browns are sitting here.
I think they
Omar
could.
Cooper.
They could still hit more receivers.
Maui Noah.
They could still hit more offensive line. Chris Bell, Tiernan.
I don't love the receiver offensive line options here.
What about Christian Miller?
Ooh. Mason Graham.
They have Mason Graham, and they have a guy that played really well out of nowhere. Forget his name for them last year. But
I like that. Christian Miller seems like a BPA, very viable option here. And all of a sudden they have a really nasty defensive line. Garrett on the outside. Akis is a guy who I like a lot from Illinois, the edge. Power rusher, strong, good against the run. But I think Christian Miller makes a lot of sense here. All of a sudden they have a not phenomenal, but like high prospects on the interior next to Myles Garrett. They make their defense even stronger. I don't like their options at offensive line, given how many teams with offensive line need or wide receiver here.
I think it's a great pick. You can't keep going offense when the board doesn't fall to you. The highest guy, like I said, Chris Bell was there. Jeremy Bernard. It depends what they like. I think Christian Miller is a can't-miss prospect. He's going to put solid numbers. Back to the Chiefs.
Carnell Tate, Colton Hood.
Yes, perfect. Do you know the Your Picks tab? Have you been clicking that?
No, I'm just scrolling up so people can see it.
So next to above all the players, it's the Your Picks tab.
Nope, don't have it here.
That's going to be helpful for you. The Chiefs have Carnell Tate and Colton Hood. I think they could use some extra pass rush.
Oh, it doesn't work because I'm doing all picks.
Yeah, but it will just show what the Chiefs have if you're hovering the Chiefs.
I see it. You guys are learning real time. There you go.
I forget they have some. I forget the name of the Chiefs players. I'm going Cassius Howell here. I think that's a position of need.
We were talking about it at their pick where they took Colton Hood.
And with Chris Jones getting older, they don't have as many guys that just win right away. Cassius Howell, remember, he has a micro arms.
Very small arms.
Yeah, micro arms could never satisfy someone with those arms with how small they are.
He would not have picked first.
He wouldn't have picked first because of arm length. But I think he makes sense here. Going on to the Bengals with Connor, his name.
All right, so the Bengals are sitting here, and they picked Caleb Downs in the first round.
Home run.
We've talked about how there's not too many things available at interior offensive line right now. Neither are there at defensive interior, but there is a guy. There's a guy right here that if I was the Bengals, I'd be ecstatic that I got here.
I hope he's who I'm thinking.
A guy by the name of Jacob Rodriguez.
Oh, my gosh.
Is that who you were thinking?
No.
Who were you thinking?
C.J. Allen is worth a first-round pick, and he has fallen this far.
I don't think C.J. Allen is better than Jacob Rodriguez.
Yeah, because he's like little boys that have only weigh
Oh my gosh.
215 pounds.
Are you racist right now?
Nah, he's worthy of this range. It's just crazy we've let C.J. Allen fall this far.
I'm not that high on C.J. Allen, man. I'm really not. And I think that Jacob Rodriguez had a season and had the testing
He's sexier.
that you can't deny him. It's like he's not Sonny Styles. He's not. He's in the tier below, but he's better than C.J. Allen in my opinion. He was a Heisman finalist.
Yeah, in the Big 12.
Come on.
No, it's fine.
I'm taking Jacob Rodriguez here, and
Miles
if I'm
will
the Bengals fan, I'm happy about this. I'm actually really happy.
Miles will draft the DeMario Davis replacement coming up here, so I'm not too worried about it.
The DeMario Davis replacement, C.J. Allen, is staring me in the face right here for the New Orleans Saints. I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to take Allen. The value is much too good here. His ADP is at 20th overall. Allen makes too much sense. Just take the value player. Don't overthink it.
Yeah, I mean, position of need, that was crazy. Saints would love that draft pick here. Going on the Dolphins, I'm going to stay trench drunk. I'm going to keep imbibing on the trenches. I'm going to do the Packers way. I'm going to get big guys, and I'm going to have them bring me home. And I'm looking at Lee Hunter here. I think he's not an athletic freak, but we've seen him produce. We've seen him He's like, he can do both. He plays stout against the run, and he has some pass rush moves. And I think Kenneth Grant did not have a great rookie season for the Dolphins last year, and they need a lot of help everywhere. Get a big guy. Keep drafting the trenches. Lee Hunter, the Dolphins.
Lee Hunter, 22-inch vert.
That's actually pretty freaking
No,
crazy.
it was like 26, right?
No, it was 22. Like 0th percentile.
Yeah. I'm more of a football guy, not really like a jumping guy.
I don't really watch jumping. I watch football.
Yeah, so you guys can have your jumps as all you want.
Speak for yourself. I'm dialed in them gymnastics.
Yeah, speaking of the New York Jets, that made no sense. Arvell Reese, Kenyon Sadiq, and Avion Terrell already selected for them.
I like it. If I'm the Jets, what I don't like is that the only two quarterbacks, in my opinion, as the current GM of the Jets, the only two quarterbacks that have potential to do much of anything are gone. And that tells me that it might be a punt situation.
Yeah, I think you ride out with Geno and hope you can use your 3 first-round picks and
you're going to suck next year.
Find a guy next year.
And next year's class, consensus, it is going to be significantly better than this year's.
Yeah, if Arch and Lenore Sellers and Ohio State Julian Sayin, those are all guys that have high potential.
Mm-hmm. And so if I'm the Jets here, I think that taking another corner isn't that bad of a pick here. I'm really high on Chris Johnson. I think that he doesn't have the best man coverage tape from what I've watched, but he's a zone defender, does really well there. Outside guy. I think that you took Avion Terrell. It doesn't hurt you that much to double dip, especially since once you got rid of Sauce, you don't really have much in that room.
Yeah, they have Azareye'h Thomas they took in the 3rd round because he fell. Didn't have a great rookie season.
Azareye'h Thomas is kind of this Chris Johnson build as well.
Otherwise, yeah, pretty much no guys you really want to build around. Brandon Stevens, I believe, is older. No, he's only 28. He's not great. I think they could attack it twice without it really affecting their roster.
Yeah.
You lock that in?
Locked.
Baltimore Ravens at 45. They took Olai Vivega Ioane in the 1st round to fill a guard need for them.
It's such a good pick.
That is a really good pick.
Fits them perfectly right there if they can't get one of the 3 wide receivers.
Honestly, I kind of hope that the 3 wide receivers are gone so that they have to do it. It forces their hand.
Great fit. The Ravens have a great secondary. The top player on my board here is D'Angelo Pons, the undersized corner out of Indiana who was the best corner film-wise, in my opinion.
Yeah, do you think he'll beat out Kyle Hamilton for the nickel?
Pons, in my mind, is an outside corner. I think he could play slot, not a
He's
nickel
pretty
in my
small
mind
for
because
an
of his tackling.
outside.
I mean, he's an elite tackler. Had like a less than 4%
True.
5'9".
missed tackle rate. The next highest player in my board at a position that I believe is of need and that the Ravens will value, given they tried to trade for Max Crosby. They took Mike Green in the 2nd round last year. I'm going to take Malachi Lawrence, the edge out of the University of Central Florida. Super traitsy, super powerful, good on film. The Ravens take a bit of a shot here and hope they can develop Lawrence with his elite traits, a guy who tested great, into somebody who can be something on the edge next to Mike Green.
I like Malachi Lawrence, but have you thought about Stowers here?
I have. Not a Stowers guy. Not a Stowers guy.
I also liked one of the receivers to them here. But hey, Miles is his own person.
Stowers can't
He
block.
is the GM of the Ravens right now.
Jeremy Bernard is a reach for me here. I think his upside is so limited. He would fit nicely next to Zay Flowers as like a middle of the field, kind of fall into zones, catch stuff over the middle. I prefer to take the edge value here.
All right, Matt, you're up with the Buccaneers. They took Dylan Thieneman in the 1st round.
Yep, we're going to go back to defense, and we're going to give him that edge rusher that we didn't like the lineup in the 1st round, but we have R. Mason Thomas falling here. Not a lot of pass rush juice on the current Buccaneers roster, whereas R. Mason Thomas from Oklahoma had a 20% pass rush win rate and a 90 overall grade, had a great season. At some points, looking to be a 1st round. He's really not that great against the run, not the most versatile player.
Kind of small, too.
Yeah, how heavy is he? Let me look.
Small. I think he's around 245.
249 is what it says. Could be a little elevated.
Yeah.
But this is the 2nd round, so he's a little one note player, but good for the 2nd round.
All right, with the first pick in the 2026 NFL draft
Yeah,
for
here we
the
go.
Indianapolis Colts via the worst trade ever. The Indianapolis Colts are on the board, and they just signed Alex Pierce. PFF will tell you that they have a wide receiver need. I don't think they're going there. Josh Downs, Alex Pierce can hold their own here. I think that they should draft a wide receiver in this class, but not with this pick. They have more higher needs. And one of the people that I have been increasingly high on as of recent is Anthony Hill Jr.
Mm-hmm.
And
Sick.
Matt, you're going to hate this, but my linebacker board is Sonny Styles,
Jacob Rodriguez, C.J. Allen.
Anthony Hill Jr., C.J. Allen.
Ooh. Okay.
I
Where is this boy?
really think
It's
Anthony
81.
Hill Jr. is like, and keep in mind, his draft stock has plummeted.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, I thought he was the second round still.
Plummeted.
5-star, super athlete, multi-time All-American, struggles in zone coverage.
Don't even play zone coverage.
Yep. No, just body up on a guy.
And they just got rid of what's his face? The Packers just got him. Veteran
Zaire
Zaire
Franklin.
Zaire Franklin. And I think that he can fill that need better than Franklin did for them, honestly.
With the disastrous trade for the Atlanta Falcons, they essentially trade 2 first-round picks, and they take them and they throw them in the furnace, and they burn them on fire for their edge they took last year. I'm blanking on his name.
James Pierce Jr.
James Pierce Jr.
He
James
likes
Pierce
to hurt
Jr.
women.
Allegedly.
Jalen Walker on the outside, fast edge guy, hybrid linebacker. I'm going to take a guy who accents him very nicely, a power guy, very tough, sets the edge on the run very nicely. Gabe Akis as an immediate James Pierce Jr. Replacement, sets their edge room up nicely. They just say, we're just going to flush it, go Akis.
That's good. Yeah, they just lost Quiddy Pay to the Raiders. He was some good, like, solid edge depth for them. This makes sense. Oh, wait, am I already? Wait.
Yeah.
I picked for the Bucks, didn't I? Oh,
Yeah.
wait. I never picked. Sorry, I messed up my thing. Who did you pick? Oh, freaking Anthony Hill. Okay, I won the Vikings. I still think they have a safety need after they lost Harrison Smith to retirement. And I'd like to give them a center because I really want to round out that offensive line. But this is not the right time to do it, so I'm going to lock in A.J. Halsey for the Vikings. Is that who you were thinking for the Lions? Or-
No, I really like Jadarian Price right here.
Oh, yeah. I think they still. Aaron Jones is playing another year. Jadarian Price could make a lot of sense, but
They also have Frank Mason. Is that
Jordan Mason.
Jordan Mason.
Frank Mason. He's in the basement. They don't let him out, but
God.
he is there still.
Shut up, Frank.
All right. So the Lions took Monroe Freeling in the first round, developmental tackle. Right here, I'm probably going to go best available. And the best available that I have right now,
Can I guess?
yeah.
Keontae Scott.
No, not right here.
Oh.
Not right
And they
here.
have Brian Branch. Can't really.
Chris Bell, honestly, I'm really high on his upside, especially at this point in the draft. But they have J-Mo and Amon-Ra, and it's not going to happen.
And they just spent 3 third-rounders on
Yeah.
Tesla.
Yep. So it's not going to happen. But that leads me into thinking that, to Miles's point, out of the box, someone that Dan Campbell would just really love, and it would be Keontae Scott if they didn't have
Brian
the DB
Branch.
room that they have.
Mm-hmm.
And so right now, I really think that you just got to go an outside corner.
Yeah, I think Terrion Arnold hasn't been who they want him to be, and also Ennis Rakestraw
Hasn't played.
hasn't really played. So they have some fill-ins, but guys that are on veteran, I think they don't have any young
Yeah.
players that they trust.
And that puts me my second guy on the board, Brandon Cisse. And
I like that.
I'm going to send it in, and I'm going to go, you know what? Great player. It really isn't a home run, but it's what we need.
They need more competition. They want to see more from Arnold, and then is Rakestraw completely dead? Because at one point he was getting first-round buzz a couple years ago, and he got drafted in the late second and hasn't played.
And Brandon Cisse is a corner out of South Carolina.
Yeah, watch the video. Don't listen to the podcast. It's all in the video.
But listen to enough of it on Spotify so it still
Yeah.
says you listened.
Yeah,
But
no, listen to it twice, honestly.
that's what we do.
Carolina Panthers took Keldrick Falk, the run-stopping edge, very young. I think he's 20, out of Auburn in the first round.
That's how we like them in the football frauds.
The top three players,
Not any younger though.
the top three players on my board here are D'Angelo Ponce, Keontae Scott, and Keith Abney. The Panthers have a solid corner room. They just gave an extension to their main corner. God, I am just blanking on names.
J.C. Horn.
Well done, Matt.
Let me
Jeremy Bernard makes a lot of sense for me here as an interior guy who would accent Tet McMillan nicely. Looking at Caleb Tiernan at tackle, given that they signed Rasheed Walker, but it's only to a 1-year deal.
I think you could. Their current nickel is Shao Smith Wade. I've never heard of him. So if you're trying to get one of your nickels you like off the board, this would be a great spot to do it.
Now that Matt's explained to me the ball knowledge that I didn't have,
They have J.C. Horn and Mike Jackson, who played well last year, but no one at nickel.
there's a nickel here who is very old, but he might as well be a torpedo.
Oh yes.
Keontae Scott, the 25-year-old corner who ran a 4.34.
4.32.
I mean, pro day numbers, but electric speed, run stopping, undersized, absolute fucking fire missile. Scott.
Wait, honestly, he's not even undersized, dude. He's 6 foot, 195.
Yeah, I
Is
messed
he
it
that
up.
big? Wow.
Yeah, dude. He's a savage. Honestly,
His thing is like, I don't think he's quite as good in coverage.
No, he's not.
But
he's average.
A threat.
He's average
in the run game.
He's average. That's all you
Literally,
freaking
it's like,
need,
oh, did
dude.
I hit by a 300-pounder? No, this is Keontae Scott.
Besides his age, that makes a ton of sense to the Panthers, given they have decent coverage. He's so much fun.
If you're from Carolina, you should literally be jumping for joy
Time to
right
start
now.
pounding.
Yes.
You got to
I never stopped.
start pounding for Keontae Scott. Okay, I have a dilemma here. I don't know shit about what the Green Bay Packers should do.
I know exactly what you should do.
I do too.
I'm looking at one of the corners, but I'd like.
Okay.
Hey, I have the pick here.
Can you consult your
I would
consultants?
no. Hey, Steelers and Eagles. How about we trade GM seats for a pick? Either one of you guys want to?
No. You have to take it. I think this is good.
Okay.
I think this is good.
Yeah, let's hear who you want.
Okay. So the Steelers have, or
You-
the Eagles have said no, or no. The Steelers have said no. Eagles. You want to
Say no.
You want to swap picks here?
No.
Yeah. Okay,
Didn't work.
Matt, give us someone that you're thinking about. I'll give you who I'm thinking about. Miles will give you who he's thinking
So
about.
I looked at the Packers roster. They lost Kobe Wooden. They have Devontae Wyatt, who's kind of, I don't know, his injuries have tacked up. He's not quite as what you want from that first round pick. And then some other guy that played fine, but
They also have some draft picks that are getting healthy again.
not anyone you really like. This is our D tackle that we're gonna love. So I wish that there was a D tackle I liked in this range. There's not. So I
They
can't.
got Hargrave too.
I can't. Yeah, Hargrave. I think he could be. That's the guy I was trying to mention.
Serviceable.
I think he could be serviceable, but he's getting older, and you don't know if he's going to stay healthy. If it weren't, I'd love to take a corner here, an outside corner, and that's why I'm leaning Keith Abney to give you some depth along with Keyshawn Nixon and your guy who celebrates a lot,
Carrington Valentine.
Carrington Valentine. I think that
Carrington.
those guys are both serviceable. You'd like to have a guy with more ceiling. Maybe Keith Abney won't have that ceiling, but just another guy to compete in the room, be some nice depth at a weaker position. What are you guys thinking? Are you leaning Jennings Dunker?
Okay, I'm leaning Jennings Dunker. With how this fell, I'm leaning Jennings Dunker.
Abney was my second pick. I'm a D'Angelo Ponce guy. I have him at 29 in my board. So this is
He's not a
massive-
Packers. He's not a Packers corner though.
Absolutely not. The Packers would never take him.
Yeah.
No way. Me personally, I'm in love with Ponce.
What do you guys think about Jay Golday here?
Golday is a linebacker who actually played like most of his snaps in the slot.
Isn't that Kyle Lewis? Or is that also Golday?
Golday did as well.
Oh, okay.
He's an oversized slot who's hyper speedy, but he's not
So
a
he-
big hitter.
Okay.
He's not a Quay Walker replacement.
But also,
he's a nickel.
Goody, the Packers GM, loves Zaire Franklin.
Yeah, that's dumb.
But like, that's just how it is. He loves him. He was trying to get him for the past 3 years.
I'm taking Jennings Dunker because Anthony Belton he had a rough rookie season. We don't know what he's going to be. Jordan Morgan has been fine, not exactly what you want. And the Packers just love versatile guys to get in their room.
Nice pick.
Honestly, one of the out of the remaining offensive linemen, he is the most versatile.
Yep.
And I think it makes so much sense to have him in there.
Very Packers Northy.
And you know what? I used to hate offensive tackle picks and being like, wow, this is so not exciting. I hate this. This would be one of those picks that I'm like, this is kind of exciting for me. I kind of like this pick.
The mullet.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't resist the mullet. That's
Yeah.
basically like 3 touchdowns.
Loves Culver's. If you're not from the Midwest, it's like you don't get it, but like,
No, you get it.
yeah.
Go to a Culver's right now, order 3 Butterburgers, put them in any orifice you can,
Unless you're in the South.
and let us know what you think.
I heard in the South it kind of sucks.
Oh, it's worse?
I heard they have it's like geography.
Oh, interesting. If you're in the
Like,
South,
dependent.
only put it in your mouth. Other orifices won't do as well.
If you're from the South, DoorDash it from Wisconsin
Yeah.
down to you.
Yeah, this is going to be $3,237.
Worth every penny.
Yeah. Made,
All
with,
right.
made with love. Welcome to Delicious.
All right, so that puts me at the Steelers at 53, and the Steelers took Ionicher at 21, and that kind of shored up their offensive line, helps out an aging Aaron Rodgers, who is inevitably going to be their quarterback again, even though there's not a contract offer for him. Right now, if I'm the Steelers, I am thinking, sweet baby Jesus, that Jadarian Price fell to me. I like Jadarian Price. I think that Jeremiah Love is light years ahead of him, but in my head it goes Jeremiah Love, Jadarian Price, and then the guys that I like in that
Yeah.
third round range.
Robbie Coleman is your next one.
And
Emmett Johnson.
Emmett Johnson.
Oh, yeah, you're a
I'm
psycho.
a big Emmett Johnson guy. But Jadarian Price falling, great for the Steelers here. I think that he's an all-around back and kind of like Jeremiah Love light. Maybe light, but yeah, I like it.
The Philadelphia Eagles at 54. Pons and Abney once again sitting here at the top of my board. They don't have a corner need. They have a third corner need behind. They actually signed from the Seahawks.
They have Tariq Woolen on a 1-year deal. I would say corner need is probably still open for them. They like to plan ahead.
DeJean Mitchell. Jeremy Bernard, I think, would fit nicely, assuming that the A.J. Brown trade to the Patriots ends up going through
Yeah.
post June 1st.
Even if they don't have Jahan Dotson anymore. They don't really have any wide receiver 3 on the roster.
Right. I like Caleb Tiernan here. I think he might be a little bit better than consensus as a Lane Johnson replacement. Jake Golden next to Jahad Campbell makes a lot of sense. This guy was a bit of a roamer. Eli Stowers. They have a limited tight end room.
If you think Pons is an outside corner, I think this is your chance.
I think that is my chance, and that's why I'm going to take Garrett Nussmeier, the quarterback from LSU. The Eagles like to get ahead of their
Please
needs.
explain this to me. I don't see.
You're a slutty slut that listens
Please.
to similar podcasts to me, Miles Stats. Oh, sorry. It's whatever. No one cares.
Miles, please walk me through this because I am not a slutty slut that listens to these podcasts. In what freaking world does this make any sense?
Garrett Nussmeier in 2024, with better tools around him on the LSU team, was considered to be a consensus first-round pick for this upcoming year.
Yep.
He passed up the chance. He went back to college for his senior year. He hurt his ribs in week 2, and the rest of the way he was atrocious. He got benched half through the year. Completely underwhelming, terrible. LSU infrastructure was very bad around him.
And you said, I want to take him in the second round. What are you talking about?
That's a very fair reaction. I think that's fair. If I'm Howie here, I'm sitting here in the second round. In my mind, I am way lower than Jalen Hurts than you guys. I don't think Jalen Hurts is.
Oh, I'm definitely lower than you.
I think he's the quarterback 28.
Okay.
What?
I'm higher than you.
What?
I hate Jalen Hurts. I don't think he's a good quarterback.
Jalen Hurts or Kyler Murray?
Kyler.
Jalen Hurts.
Oh my! Okay,
By
you're
a
wrong.
mile.
You're wrong.
By
You're
a
wrong.
mile.
Jalen
All right.
Mertz or Graham Mertz? Sorry.
Or Rick and Murty. Nussmeier, I'm going to bet in the 2024 film. To me, he's a Baker Mayfield clone. Undersized, dog mindset, loves to rip into tight windows. His 2024 film is great.
He'll get smacked in the face, lay on his ass over and over and over again.
Get
Yep.
benched.
sits in the
Get
pocket,
drafted in the second round.
gets benched, drafted in the second round.
He'll fights for his team through an injury. No injury will stop him from fighting for the LSU Tigers, whatever they are.
The Eagles let Jalen Hurts'
Go
final year of his
Tigers.
contract play out. They bring in Nussmeier in a rookie deal. They did this in the past with Hurts, a guy who got benched in the national championship for Tua Tagovailoa.
That was with Alabama. Then he played a whole year with Oklahoma.
Hurts was,
so true.
but Hurts had first round buzz.
Yeah.
And so did Nussmeier. Boom.
No, he does not.
He did. Whatever. We got to keep going. What are we at on time, by the way? Do you know?
We're probably at 2 right now.
Okay. Well, that's not so bad. Okay. The Chargers, did they go guard? Yeah, they got Caden Proctor. So
they went tackle.
Well, they're going to play him at guard because they have tackles already. Then I'd like to, man, I didn't plan this far out ahead. They have decent corners, not guys they can build the city around. And they have Aronde Gadsden and the tight end from the Ravens that's a run blocker.
Took Caden Proctor at 22.
Not a lot of guys screaming out at me. They have decent corners. A lot of guys that I think Minter built up out of. I'm sure if you're a Chargers fan, you have a guy screaming out at you. Gosh. I think I was going to go a corner, but it's just not what they have. Decent enough corner play. We really don't like drafting corners. We got a lot of guys building up here. I think I'm going to go defensive end, and I think I'm going to take
Derek.
Yeah, but I want him for the Bears.
You're taking Derek Moore.
I know.
I'm drafting for the Bears, you bastard.
I know. I really wanted Derek Moore for the Bears.
Derek.
Or Dominique Orange.
I'm going Derek Moore here.
Yeah.
He'd be a great guy to fall to the Bears. 92 pass rush grade, 76 run defense. I know he just plays really hard, doesn't have a great plan, but he's athletic, he's strong, and he fights.
Well, he would have been the guy at the Senior Bowl that everyone was like, this guy's a dog. Like, you guys got to watch him. Like, this guy's a dog. He would have been that guy if Zion Williams didn't exist. Right? Zion
Williams.
Zion Young. Zion Williamson didn't exist.
Yeah. Zion Williams
like,
ate too much Culver's, so
I mean,
he
if
didn't
Zion was
perform.
that edge, where would you take him in this draft?
Holy shit. He's probably too tall, right?
46-inch vertical.
How tall is he? 6'10"?
6.
Oh, okay, he's not that tall.
Yeah, but
He can
but
be
he's
tackled.
beefed up.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but if Zion Young didn't exist, people would have said that about Derek Moore. And
yeah.
so that tells you everything you know about Zion Young. And so that puts me with the
Jaguars.
Jacksonville Jaguars at pick 56. This is their first pick via a trade that was really dumb, in my opinion. They somehow made one of the worst trades, in my mind,
It was for the culture.
ever. And
You just don't understand culture, so.
and then somehow it kind of worked, even though that pick didn't do
Because of the
anything.
culture.
Yeah.
The player doesn't matter. It's the culture that matters.
It's a culture thing. You wouldn't
Oh.
understand.
But I'm sitting here and I think that Eli Stowers is worth a pick ahead of this.
Oh, be bad for my dynasty team.
Personally.
Yeah?
Eli Stowers is not going to do much for you in run block or pass, or I guess in
but
pass
he's an
block
athletic
chipping.
freak.
But he's an athletic freak, and he does fit that like Y kind of in the slot big guy. He's a former quarterback, understands how defenses work, how to read defenses, and what the quarterback's seeing.
Yeah.
Proved that you can elevate a subpar quarterback in Diego Pavia almost single-handedly.
Yeah, and
Subpar.
So
Hey,
What about
sub
football
6
is
foot.
blind, brother? Which side are you on?
You should be a first-round pick.
I'm a
First-round pick.
salesman. I was trying to sell you guys on Diego Pavia, and it kind of didn't work. Maybe it worked. I don't know.
I think what does make sense about this pick is that Brenton Strange, you could have him, gain 5 pounds, play more in line.
Yeah.
And then if you want to play 2 tight end sets, you could have him be your move tight end and still get them both out there.
Mm-hmm. All right.
The Bears sitting here. They don't have a corner need. Their secondary is the biggest strength of their team.
Well, Miles, if you really want to get, so we have Nashawn Wright he played most of the year last year. He left. We have Tyreek Stevenson, who he's in year 4, so he's going to be a free agent next year, and he's been fine. He probably grades like a 63 on PFF. So if you think corner's a value here, you could hit corner.
God, I hate to do it.
Otherwise, D line is probably the biggest need.
I hate to do it.
You do have a pick coming up in 3 picks from here again. So
Same. Miles is the pick. Miles is picking.
for both of them. And so don't necessarily have to reach. That's what I'm saying.
I'm between two guys here. D'Angelo Pons at 29 on my board, a player that I'm
He fits.
irrationally in love with.
He fits.
He could come in and he could play outside
Yeah.
for you, in my opinion. Kyler Gordon's in the slot. They gave him an extension.
The thing is, Dennis Allen, his whole thing is length at corner.
Right.
Like, he just has a giant boner for length. That's
Right.
his biggest thing.
The other guy in my mind here is an obvious run-blocking D-tackle fit, a guy who would be a nice Caden McDonald, kind of like back placement, Dominic Orange, Big Citros, the sickest nickname in the draft by far. Now that Matt explains to me the cornerback depth for the Bears, I hate to do it, but I have to give them D'Angelo Pons, a guy who
Have you thought about center though?
I have. They traded for that guy from Matt. Who'd they trade for?
He's the Patriots center. I cannot. Garrett Bradbury.
There's a variety of center prospects here for me. Sam Hacht out of Kansas State, Connor Lew from Auburn, and
Well,
then
Connor Lew was a center that was projected to be a first-round pick, but he had injuries. And so the whole thing is that he probably won't be available at the start of the season.
kind of
Yeah.
like Garrett Nussmeyer.
I was gonna say, it kind of reminds me of guys. Boom! Oh!
I will not be disrespected on this podcast like that ever again. I'm done. All right, so you're taking Dominique Orange,
I'm taking Pons.
Pons.
taking D'Angelo Pons. All right, Matt. The 49ers.
Shit, I was thinking
they
so much about the Bears. I
they
didn't
took
think about the
Lomo.
Niners.
They took Lomu first round.
Man, you know who they can't pass up on, even though it's not a need. But Kyle Shanahan's sick in the head. So they have Pearsall, they have Mike Evans,
Mhm.
and they have Christian Kirk
Yeah.
and Demarcus Robinson. But the receiver room is pretty much reset from the Debo, Brandon Ayuk age. Jeremy Bernard would make so much sense as a reliable guy that you can trust to make the route. And like, he's not an athletic freak, but he can hit the floor, and he's really good at just quickly turning into a runner after he catches the ball. So in a Shanahan scheme where you can scheme a guy open and then you can trust him to get some yak, like just someone consistent that you can build. Like, he's never going to
Yeah.
be, he might be a 2, maybe a 3, but you always want him on your team.
Yeah.
Bernard, I think, makes a lot of sense.
You know what's wild? Every Alabama game I watched this year, I didn't even notice Ryan Williams.
Oh, no, he fell off a cliff.
I
unbelievable.
didn't even notice Ryan Williams. I noticed Jeremy Bernard in every single game. I was like,
No, he's a dog.
I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
who's that?
He plays with a ton of soul. Like, he's just, you can tell he's giving his all out there.
Just a good football player.
Speaking of good football players, I'm up again with the Texans. They took Caleb Banks, Chase Bisontis, and they have another second-round pick. And if I am them here, I think I'm going. So they have the 2 Iowa State guys,
Yep.
and they have Nico Collins.
Xavier Hutchinson played a good amount of snaps.
Xavier Hutchinson played a good amount of snaps. I really like Chris Brazzell. He is my number 1,
There's
still
no-
available.
I don't think they,
They can't do it.
yeah.
They can't do it.
Kyle
But,
Williams, Keyshawn Booty.
Yes.
That's the Patriots.
I was going to say that's not the Texans.
Sorry, I was thinking about my third pick coming up in 63.
Yeah, that's not the pick that's currently being picked, Miles.
But honestly, I kind of want to do a double up at offensive line.
Get younger makes sense.
Of course.
It's honestly, it's the only thing with this team that I'm like, I don't know. It's like
Go Rutledge.
I feel like all their offensive woes when I watch the Texans play is a direct result of their offensive line and C.J. Stroud, because he kind of sucks. And so I kind of want to go Rutledge. Is there anything that you guys want to sway me against that? Is there anyone that you're seeing that
They-
would go better than
They
this?
could go Jonah Coleman. They don't need to.
What about appealing to tackle depth more and taking a guy who has tackle and perhaps guard versatility with a little bit better length, a guy who projects around the same level as Keelan Rutledge and Caleb Tiernan, a guy with good length who could fill in at tackle for you in worst case scenario, maybe transfer to guard.
You thinking Tiernan?
Yes.
I like Tiernan. I like Tiernan better than Rutledge, honestly. But I like Rutledge better for strictly interior.
Mm-hmm.
I think he kind of just sold me because I am a versatile offensive lineman guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking Caleb Tiernan.
Mr. Positions takes Caleb Tiernan.
Miles again via trade with Buffalo for the DJ Moore butt rocket to the moon.
I got the Bears. I got Emmanuel McNeil, Warren, and Pons for their secondary, which is now stacked with talent. An already good secondary adds a bunch of talent. And the guy that I was considering before, very easy pick for me, Big Citrus, Dominique Orange. This is a great draft for the Bears.
Yeah,
Defensively.
it's fine. I kind of wonder, like, it's so weird to take a safety in the first round because you look at your depth chart with the first round safety and without it, and you're like, looks the same.
Yeah, fair.
Like when you know you have a trench problem and you don't see massive additions there, it's like, oh, so we're gonna suck.
Would you feel better if they had went Caden McDonald in the first round and then they went Pons, and then maybe at safety here they went for
Yeah, not any obvious. There's a Penn State safety. I forget his name.
Yeah, not a lot of safety options.
Kamari Ramsey, maybe Kyle Lewis is a safety for them.
Center there instead,
maybe if they went Caden McDonald, D'Angelo Pons, and Sam
Connor
Hecht.
Lou, yeah.
Lou, maybe.
I think I Lou makes sense in the second round. I think Lou makes.
But
a lot
I
of
see
sense
like
there.
we have a third round pick. What if you like package your 3 and your 6 to move up in the third? You don't need to use this second on it. Like
There's 3 centers that I'm looking at as serviceable, and they are all the next 3 after Rutledge. It's Lou, Hecht, and Slaughter.
So
I think all 3 of those guys can play this next year.
This is my first time holding a whole 2-round mock and looking at the Bears, and I'm curious to see how they're going to manage this because I don't think their needs line up perfectly with where their picks are.
Mm-hmm. So that brings you as the GM of the Rams, and you don't give a shit about the Bears as the GM of the Rams.
I have Mekhi Lemon, and I'm happy about it. I think I'm just going to go best player available here. We have Puka and Mekhi Lemon now, but realistically...
And Devontae Adams.
Yeah, but Devontae Adams is 33.
And led the league in drops.
We really... Oh, man. You know what I got to do? I got to go Jay Golday.
I like that a lot.
They use
available.
Landman and another... Like, they basically used 2 nothing names at linebacker last year who played well for them. But I think it's because of their scheme and the team around them. Jay Golday, 6'4", 240. I don't actually know a lot about him, but he's a linebacker and he's good here.
Dude, also, I'm the GM for all these teams that
Yep.
just had atrocious trades and then ended up having picks in the second round.
Golday is a rangy guy who played a lot in the slot. He's not a downhill run defender, but he's very good in zone and man coverage matched up against slot guys.
They have great defensive lines, so I think they can manage a little bit worse run defender.
Fits nicely with Landman.
Mm-hmm.
Connor Landman.
Ooh.
Shouts.
Owns the land.
We'll know if he listens to this because, if you heard that, let us know.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't hear that, we hate you.
If you heard that, then I'll buy you a 30 rack of Michelob Ultra.
Yeah.
I won't double that.
He was doing that anyways.
All right, so we got the Broncos up here. They just traded for Jalen Waddle. They had a bigger need at wide receiver, and honestly, I kind of want to go defense for them.
You know what? I think you could hit another corner behind Riley Moss for them.
Yeah,
Like he's fine, but eventually you're gonna have to pay him, and I think getting younger there could work.
Who did they just draft? Didn't they draft out of Texas?
Jahdae Barron.
He was my number 2 last year.
Yeah, but he only played a few snaps, didn't play that great, and they re-signed Jaquan McMillan to replace Slot. So I think maybe Abney could make sense for them.
I think you let that settle. I would go wide receiver here.
Can I
tell you what I'm looking at? I'm looking at Chris Bell.
Actually, I like that.
Who are you looking at?
I was going to propose Sam Roush, which definitely you aren't going to take here. Roush is a really good blocking tight end from Stanford who tested immaculately, didn't get a lot of targets at Stanford, but would fit in very nicely as a blocking tight end for the Broncos with Sean Payton. But now that you say Chris Bell, I'm like, okay, yeah, Chris Bell.
I
I
think-
kind of like Roush.
I think you got Waddle, who is a 1B. You have Sutton, who is a 1B.
Yep.
And Chris Bell's ceiling is a 1A. His ceiling.
I'm just gonna give it ceilings for everyone.
His
This
ceiling is
guy's
a 1A.
ceiling is the best player in the
Sam
NFL.
Roush's ceiling is George Kittle.
Miles' ceiling is Matt.
But so I guess I guess what I'm saying is, if you get Chris Bell in there, worst case scenario, you have 2 1Bs.
Yeah, it's just they have Marvin Mims and Troy Franklin and Pat Bryant.
What?
Worst case scenario?
You have 2 1Bs, and then Chris Bell is a 2 or a 3.
Oh, I thought you meant the worst case scenario.
Don't you
Chris
think
Bell's
they
a
can
1B.
fill out their room?
Oh,
fill
no.
out their room with
They already
Pat-
have a bunch
Pat
of good receivers.
But the
Bryant
thing is
and Marvin Mims.
But Chris Bell fits a niche that isn't filled. He's a total athletic freak. An
if
athletic
he's healthy.
freak.
Matt Catfish.
That's fine.
And you know what? They're gonna do this actually, and then you're gonna go, "Oh my gosh, wasn't Chris Bell a number 1 overall draft pick? He's so freaking insane."
That's
And
so
I'm gonna
true.
go, "Well, yeah,
You're planting your flag?
yeah,
No, we're gonna go Chris Bell. That's a 1A. Jalen Waddle sucks.
Okay, honestly though, I've been pretty low on Jalen Waddle. I think the Dolphins murdered that trade.
No, he's good.
All right, we got 2 picks left. 2 picks left. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Who is
Miles, the New England Patriots.
The Patriots,
The
as I
Patriots
was-
are finally up.
As I was, after 2 hours of mocking, I'm completely lost in my thoughts, and I was just talking about the Patriots, and you guys weren't.
Blake Miller, first round.
Keith Abney is the top player on my board here. Chris Basil is a guy who's second for me on my board. Height and speed, very fast, downhill guy with decent separation skills. You guys have any thoughts here, or else I have a player in mind?
Carlton Davis is a corner. He's a little older. If you want to force Keith Abney, I think they definitely have a future coming up for room for corner.
I'm going to take Danny Dennis Sutton out of Penn State, a guy who... Deny Dennis Sutton out of Penn State, a guy who tested out of the building at the combine, was almost on par with Reese there at edge.
Yep.
Has pretty good film at Penn State, very inconsistent though. Presents upside for them at edge, gives them a shot.
I mean, overall, he had consistent stats, though. He had pretty much identical stats in 2024 and 2025, and almost identical grades throughout the whole season.
Yep. Still didn't project as despite his traits being a very good player, a guy who's just kind of a traits upside guy for me personally.
Do you think Vrabel can tap into something that hasn't been tapped into yet? Because like Clemson, something happened with Penn State where it was like Penn State was the team, and then all of a sudden they were not.
Yes, there's a scenario where Vrabel taps into that. Tapped into Jeffrey Simmons for the Titans, A.J. Brown, the Titans, maybe. Yeah.
I'm going to say he will tap into him and he will become a Hall of Famer.
Dude, you know what we said that we're letting these corners fall? I used to think that we were cornerback and wide receiver pilled, and how we got to value other
A lot of
positions.
these teams just
and
like
now it's just like
it's I don't know, maybe we're just dumb and we don't know how the NFL works.
Wrong.
It feels hard to force like a lot of these teams are like, yeah, they could make it through with corner. Like
Yeah.
we want to get trenches, we want to get receivers.
yeah.
I know who should take Keith Abney, though.
All I know is I had like a good example of that is last year I had a 3rd round grade on Maxwell Harrison, and then for some reason Buffalo Bills ended up taking him in the 1st round.
Because
He
they're
picked
gonna 4-2.
Because they're trying to beat Mahomes.
But doesn't
Yeah.
so what? Did he even play?
yeah.
Yeah, he played.
He,
He
was
was
he
just hurt.
just was injured. He had a 69 PFF rating. I looked at it
Ha.
today.
All right, we're at the last pick in this 2-round mock from the Football
I was
Frogs
looking at Keith Abney,
podcast.
find some value. They have Josh Jobe. They re-signed to be their second corner besides Devin Witherspoon. But then I remembered how bad Anthony Bradford was on their line at right guard. And so I'm going to hope that Keelan Rutledge can fight for that spot, give them some extra depth, and bolster their offensive line. That was their biggest hole on the Super Bowl winning roster, and that will fill it out.
All right, guys. on the screen right now, if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see the recap here.
And that was a predictive mock. You can shoot us with a gun if that's not exactly what happens in April 25th.
Wasn't that
But if it's right, you all owe us money.
wasn't that a personal mock?
It was a combination.
Well, it was a
prefaced
personal
that.
mock, but I'm highly certain that if it doesn't go exactly like that, you can shoot us with all of your guns
Well, so
in the balls and face.
it's more of a predictive, like, what do we think this team would do?
If they
And
were as smart as us.
And then at
Yeah,
those positions,
this guy
who
gets
do we
it.
like?
This guy gets it. So for me, it wasn't predictive. I was just saying what I like, but considering my ball knowledge, you could shoot me in the balls if I got any pick wrong.
All right, don't do that to me, because I don't think Jordan Tyson's going this high. But I know he is going to be that good. This
Yeah.
guy right here.
We need to have some discussions soon about our dynasty picks. We got picks 2, 3, 4, 5 in the draft representing this podcast. We're probably not very good at dynasty,
Dude.
But
No.
I have picks 4 and 5 because I'm that good at dynasty.
yeah,
That's true.
because you force things upon people.
No, dude.
There was no consent, and you just kept going anyway.
doesn't matter if they're-
Extend
You
the
sick
hand.
sicko.
In this
Extend the hand.
situation, if there was no consent, it's not relevant.
All I'm saying is just a quick. I don't think Miles knows this. I tried to get the 101.
Mm-hmm. Would you?
The,
Kyle texted me with the 101. What did you offer?
It was after I texted him about
Oh.
it. I offered the 105 and the 109 for the 101.
Kyle told me you offered the 104 and the 105.
No, but that's what I was going to get into that. I offered the 105 and 109 for the 101. Kyle said, I can't do that. That's not good enough value. And I said,
He's probably right.
would you do it for the 104? I was willing to do the 104 the whole time. And he goes, I don't know. And I go, okay. And then that was kind of on pause. And then he goes, I'd highly consider the 104.
Like
So-
just the 104 and 105?
104 and 109.
Oh, he told me you did 104 and 105.
Would
No,
you?
no.
Would you take 104, 105 for Love?
No.
Really?
Dude, there's 5 picks. You know who I love.
it is
You
hard.
know who I love in this draft.
Like say Tyson falls and you get Tyson and Mendoza.
That's a nice draft.
Tyson and Mendoza or Jeremiah Love.
and then 9 is like Concepcion or something.
I'm hesitant to say this because someone might be listening to this.
Oh, true.
if he's listening, then that's
But-
great.
but
If
this
Kyle got 2.5 hours,
No,
in-
no, but this isn't a Kyle thing though.
oh,
It's mainly for the people below.
Between 6, 7, and 8.
Because then they'll know that I'm not sad. That like my willingness to get out of a certain pick is going to be higher.
yeah.
Yeah,
If
based on
something happens.
our current draft, we're looking at Kenyon Sadiq, Omar Cooper,
Garrett Nussmeier apparently.
and we didn't really get a lot of receivers in the first round.
I offered Kyle 103, Harvey 2 fourths and a third. He said no.
Yeah,
I wouldn't take that
that
either, dude. Fuck RJ Harvey. Dude.
You should consult Keep Trade Cut because they said it was a great deal.
If it felt like this in our
they
Kyle,
love thirds and
They
fourths.
really do.
Oh my gosh, dude! Yeah, that was the other thing is when I offered that trade. When I offered that trade, Kyle goes, "This is like 16,000 points in your favor," and I'm like, "Cause there was like an 18,000 like point like buffer towards you for no reason at all. Like it just adds like
Oh, really?
it adds that like
Yeah, makeup.
Point adjustment.
yeah the point adjustment, and I'm like, there's no reason like
Well,
honestly,
no, but because
you're-
the points aren't based off of how valuable they are in Dynasty. It's just based off of a 0 to 1 to 10,000 system of do you like this guy better than this guy?
yeah.
So because that's like a linear thing, that doesn't mean someone that's worth 2,000 is worth a quarter as much as someone that's worth 8,000. Realistically, that person is worth probably 5% as much as someone that's worth 8,000.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well,
it just
yeah.
looks good because it says 2, but it's just a
So-
linear grade from 0 to 10,000.
But the 101 was a certain point value.
It's like 7,500.
The 104 and the 109 were 2,000 above that. There was 3,000 plus, like 3,500 point adjustment.
But a 9,000 player might be worth twice as much as a 6,000 player.
Can you guys guess where Jeremiah Love is valued at in terms of all running backs right now?
Dude, I would put him at probably 6, maybe 7.
I was going to guess 5.
Per Keep Trade Cut, he's RB4.
I haven't looked at it, but I'm just like, how many elite running backs that are young, right? Like you have Jameer Gibbs,
Bijan, Jameer,
Ginty, I guess.
Genty probably.
But like,
Nah.
I mean, Omarion Hampton's up there, but he
Yeah.
wasn't as high as Love. And then you get into like Kenneth Walker. You don't need Kenneth Walker.
No,
you
no,
don't
no.
need Brees Hall. Like,
Okay, we should get in this more in the Dynasty podcast.
Yeah.
But for real, Matt, I'm telling you, running backs overrated if you're not trying to win right now. They are expendable, and you can move assets if you have everything else in place.
Why the fuck are you taking shots at me right now, dude?
Look at this guy. Do you want to be this guy?
no, I do. I like this guy. I'd love to be this guy.
But you just literally just said that you were my ceiling. You still love me though? I'm the lovable underling?
This
we
guy,
love you, dude.
this
We
guy,
love you.
I would say this guy, a lot of potential. His
Yeah.
ceiling is a 1A receiver.
And you know what? If you guys think that this guy has a lot of potential, you guys should like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your grandma, tell your girlfriend's dog about this podcast.
Or my boss.
Have all of them like and subscribe it.
We really appreciate you guys' time here. I had a blast hanging out with two of my best friends in the world. My two best friends in the world, if I'm being honest. I'd like to say that to other people, but there's really not. I had a great time.
That was good.
Next week, we're talking Dynasty. We're going through all the guys in the first 2.5 rounds-ish that could get drafted in Dynasty before the draft. Our Dynasty draft is a week after the draft. So
You got to know your shit.
it's really good to have a primer beforehand, knowing all the guys before they go to Team Fits. Obviously, Team Fits the biggest impact, but
Yeah.
we're going to go through all of them.
I'm going to send that video to our group chat, so we should be careful with what we say.
I
We
agree.
should also
I'm not going to be careful.
let these viewers know that we might be tapping into rookie draft history to let you guys know
Oh, yeah.
how valuable is the 109.
What do we got? So drafts in like today?
Drafts in 3 weeks.
3 weeks. So
April
from
24th.
today.
So theoretically, we got like 2 episodes.
By the way,
2
I-
weeks of recording before then.
I asked off for the Friday after the draft.
Dude, I could see doing that.
I'm getting fucked up. I'm having a good time in the first
Man,
round
now I
Thursday
kinda want
night.
to.
It's going to be awesome.
What'd you tell your boss?
I said, I'm taking a
I have a
personal
funeral.
day. No, I said, I didn't provide any context. I said, I'm asking off for this day.
Dope.
Anyways, we appreciate your time. If you made it this far, fucking
Tune in next time.
comment. We love you, frauds, and I'll Venmo you $1.
Let us know anything about Garrett Nussmeyer.
Nussmeyer,
Yeah,
QB1.
let these guys know that they suck.
We love you.
Goodbye.